We love dogs, and we love dogs that especially love baseball. Welcome to Bob Wren Stadium, Game 2 of our 3-game series between the Ohio Bobcats and the Kent State Golden Flashes. Alongside Daniel Barnard, I'm Sam Hyman. 60 degrees. You couldn't ask for a better day for college baseball. Daniel, we look at this matchup today. Ohio looking to send a message and take this series. Ohio won Game 1 yesterday, 9-4. And a win today would give them the series victory against the MAC preseason favorites. How do they get the job done for a second straight day?
Well, Sam, it would feel even better to take a series against the MAC preseason favorites, a team that swept you last season on their home field. But for Ohio today, it's going to lie on the shoulders of Tim Knapschafer. His first start of the season, he's appeared in 4 games, but he's gone some distance in them. He's gone 4 innings, 5 innings in a couple of them, so he's got the stamina to get it done. Dylan Masters yesterday was just outstanding. So Tim, looking to follow in his footsteps on the mound today, are also going to want to keep that same consistency in the lineup that we saw yesterday for Ohio 1 through 9. Just all of them were really getting it done. So that's where Ohio's going to win this baseball game.
On the other side, Kent State looking to respond, rebound. They're 8-9, 3-1 in MAC play. How do the Golden Flashes get back on track today?
Well, yeah, Sam, yesterday it was a rough outing for Jack Cartsonis, an uncharacteristic 4 free passes for him. So Eric Chalice on the mound for them today. He's going to want to look to cut down on that, keep his guys in the ball game, limit the damage where he can, but they're also going to want to look for more consistency themselves. The bottom of the order was just pretty much non-existent yesterday. Outside of the 1 home run from Jake Casey, he drilled the one to dead center field. Just 1 for 16, hitters 5 through 9. So they're going to want to look for more production out of the bottom of the order. Let's get started.
Yeah, let's start with the top of the order. And Kyle Jackson, everybody needs to be awake for the first pitch of the game because last time it was a homer. This first pitch is low for ball 1. Kyle Jackson, yes, we did not stutter. Kyle Jackson launched a solo home run on the first pitch of the game yesterday, but it was not the last message sent in the series opener. Ohio won Game 1 by a final score of 9-4. Tim Knapschafer, graduate student on the mound for the Bobcats, as we talked about just a moment ago, 6'5", 225 pounds, from Maria Stein, Ohio, and pitching exclusively from the stretch. The count is quickly 3 balls and no strikes.
Sam, last time out for Knapschafer, last weekend against Northern Illinois, he went 4 1/3 innings, gave up 1 run on 4 hits. He also struck out 5 hitters.
Yeah, Tim Knapschafer is a guy that can go deep into games, and when we say deep, we mean he's come out of the bullpen this season exclusively prior to this being his first start. 3-1 is blasted on a line, shallow center field. Gideon Antle makes the catch. 1 up, 1 down. So Tim Knapschafer, 4 1/3 innings last time out. He went 5 innings the outing prior to that. So very interesting decision from Coach Moore. I like the decision to give Knapschafer an opportunity to make his first start of the season. He has been a starter in his career, the Division III transfer.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be the first to tell you, though, he has had a little bit of issue finding the strike zone. He's got 9 walks over 14 1/3 innings. So really today I'm looking for him to be consistent in the zone. Consistency has been a key word for us throughout this pregame and heading into the game. Consistency in the lineup and consistency from Knapschafer. You see the strike right there on the inside corner. I'm sure he's looking to cut down on the walks and keep the strikeout numbers up. He's got good strikeout numbers. Just try to get that walk number down.
0-2 the count to Josh Johnson. And he takes inside ball 1. Josh Johnson, the center fielder from Gibsonia, Pennsylvania, a redshirt senior, was hitless yesterday. Reached on an error, but that's it. 1-2 the count, 1 out. Top of the first inning, Knapschafer delivers. And that misses outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The defense surrounding Tim Knapschafer in the outfield left to right, A.J. Roush, Gideon Antle, Paulie Mancino. Same outfield as yesterday. Here's the 2-2. And that's low, 3-2. On the infield, Nick Dolan at third, J.R. Nelson at short, Alex Finney, the second baseman. Bryce Smith is at first. The only defensive change other than the pitcher to start the game for the Bobcats compared to yesterday, Trey Cassidy does the catching. The payoff, hammered foul down the left field line.
A little bit of a tight zone here in this at-bat, Sam. Napshafer working around the edges of the plate. A couple fastballs missed just barely off the inside and outside corner. And then he missed low with a breaking ball. He's all around the zone trying to get Johnson to chase.
The payoff pitch. Breaking ball is crushed down the left field line, and that's foul into Ohio's bullpen. So a good at-bat from Josh Johnson, who comes into this weekend hitting .333, second best average on the team, 5 doubles, 2 homers. This is his 18th start of the season, and a guy that has been there, done that for Kent State over the last several years. The 3-2 on the outside corner, bullseye, strike 3, 2 down.
It was a great job of Napshafer just to come back at him with the fastball. Got to trust your pitches right there, and he got it right on that outside corner. Froze Johnson at the plate, looking for something else, maybe a little more inside. He was pulling off on those last 2 pitches, drilled him foul, caught him looking with the outside fastball.
Tim Orr at the plate, senior first baseman, takes a strike. Napshafer, a pitch mix of fastball, curveball, slider, according to PrepBaseballReport.com. And he's got good height on the mound. His arm angle, 1 ball and 1 strike. Tim Orr is one of the best hitters in the Mid-American Conference. In fact, we highlighted this yesterday. We've got 2 of the best hitters in the league going head-to-head. Tim Orr, Kent State, Gideon Antle, Ohio. 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 down in the top of the first inning from Athens, game 2 of our 3-game series. Here's the pitch. Off-speed foul back. Tim Orr had 2 hits yesterday. This is his first season with Kent State. He was a star with a capital S at Tiffin University. That's a Division II school in Ohio. Napshafer prepares, set, go. Called strike 3 right down Court Street. Back-to-back strikeouts for Tim Napshafer, and it's a quick 1-2-3 top of the first inning. Ohio bats for the first time today when we return from Bob Wren Stadium. Eric Chalice, the junior from Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, gets the start for Kent State back at Bob Wren Stadium alongside Daniel Barnard. I'm Sam Hyman. Chalice making his 5th start of the season. The junior 6'1". Consistent in the sense that his inning totals haven't really fluctuated. 5 innings in 3 of his 4 starts. However, he faced some really tough competition early on, a bit of a wake-up call, the likes of Louisiana Tech, UNCW, and Jacksonville State.
He's a 3-1 record, 4.91 ERA.
And he's got a nasty hook, the 12-6 curveball in there for strike 1.
He faced UNC Wilmington to start his season, a very strong outing for him against a team that has a very good offense. His teammate that we saw yesterday, Jack Cartsona, struggled against UNC Wilmington. Eric, on the other side, he was able to will his Golden Flash teammates to a win against UNC Wilmington. He went 5 innings, gave up just 1 run in that one. Sam, 9 strikeouts.
And
he had his way.
Yeah, here's 1 strikeout as he makes Paulie Mancino a frozen statue. And that had a wicked movement, too. That looked like a 2-seam fastball that started inside and then cut back on the inside corner. Started inside as if it was going to be a ball. And wicked movement there. So 1 up, 1 down. J.R. Nelson is at the plate for Ohio, the freshman from Illinois. And Nelson polishes this one into shallow right center field. And the ball is underneath Josh Johnson's glove. J.R. Nelson slides in safely at second base. First hit of the game for the Bobcats. It's the freshman shortstop, J.R. Nelson.
Oh, we saw this a couple times yesterday, Sam, from the Kent State outfield. The one that I'm remembering the most, Cole Williams, when he drove it into left field. I believe it was Tim Orr in left field, misjudged the fly ball, thought he was going to be able to get there and took a bad angle, rolled a little farther. That one skips right under the glove of Josh Johnson, allows for J.R. Nelson to swipe an extra bag.
Second double of the series for J.R. Nelson. Ohio's lineup features 2 freshmen at the top of the order, Paulie Mancino and J.R. Nelson. Now, Mancino is at the top of the order for just the 3rd time this season, and it's all been this week. Here's Gideon Antle, one of the best hitters in the MAC. He entered the series with the best batting average in the league, and now is sitting at .455, just .01 points batting average behind Tim Orr, who is the first baseman for Kent State. A check over at second. That looked a bit awkward there.
J.R. Nelson almost caught that with his left hand. Like
Yeah.
Instincts. He stuck his hand up, almost caught it. He's like, oh, I got to get that hand down.
Yeah,
I wonder what the ruling would be there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was planned. Well, if he's on the base, I think he's good. 2-0 pitch. Curveball bounced on the ground to third. Jackson vacuums it up, throws to first. 2 down. And J.R. Nelson stays put at second base.
All reliable down there at third. Kyle Jackson, the hot corner, got on him quickly. Like you said, a vacuum cleaner. He doesn't make many mistakes down there. I was looking at him. I was watching him pregame during batting practice. He can get up, Sam. There was a line drive over his head. He wasn't able to get up and grab it, but I was just impressed with how high he got up. So not much is getting past him.
Yeah, the senior, very solid over there at third base. And a Kent State team that, as a whole, like, they come into this weekend with the best fielding percentage in the MAC, close to 99% fielding percentage. Alex Finney takes downstairs, 1 ball and 1 strike, the 5th-year senior second baseman. So that continues to be a strength of this Kent State team, and they did not commit any errors yesterday. Ohio made 1 error. Chalice from the left side delivers. 1-1 is buried. Looked like a slider from Eric Chalice. The defense surrounding Eric Chalice left to right in the outfield. Bo Schinkel Josh Johnson, Jake Casey, Kyle Jackson at third. We highlighted him. Michael McNamara, the shortstop. Connor Ashby at second. Tim Orr is at first. Ripken Reese is the catcher. 2-1 is inside. Barely. 3-1.
Sam, we talked about it pregame. Yesterday, Ohio struggled with guys on base. They left 13 guys on base. They did get 9 of them to come around and score, but they had prime opportunities all throughout that game. An early one right here for Alex Finney.
Another curveball, and that's ball 4. So Alex Finney heads down to first base. Ohio with runners at first and second. And Trey Cassidy will head to the batter's box. Freshman from Northville, Michigan, out of Detroit Catholic Central. He did not start yesterday. Cassidy making just his 3rd start of the season. 5 for 12 at the plate in his first year in Athens. And that just misses inside. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch sequence for Eric Chalice, or what Chalice has in his back pocket: fastball, slider, curveball, changeup. So he's got a good amount of pitches to go to. He's not an overpowering arm, doesn't have one. Bounce foul, first base side. His fastball will hover in the upper 80s, 88, 89, maybe 90 at times. But Coach Duncan of Kent State said he pitches with a lot of moxie. One ball and 1 strike to Trey Cassidy. The pitch. Check swing in on the hands, and Cassidy frustrated. He didn't mean to make any contact on that.
An excuse me swing, some people like to call it back at home. Well, my home being Cincinnati, I listen to a lot of Reds games, and they like to call it an excuse me swing on their broadcast.
Pickoff attempt. Nelson is back.
It was a weird spin move right there. Guess he stepped off the back of the mound quickly. All one motion. That was quick. Got to stay on your toes out there if you're on base.
It's got to be one motion, otherwise it would be a balk. So you have to get that down pat. Here's a
That
blooper.
might drop.
Yeah, shallow left field. Bo Schinkel, good speed, and he makes the catch to retire the side. Ohio strands 2 runners, a double from J.R. Nelson. We remain scoreless going to the top of the 2nd inning after this from Bob Wren Stadium. Michael McNamara, the senior shortstop, getting set to lead things off here in the top of the 2nd inning against Tim Napshafer, making his first start of the season. Exclusively out of the bullpen this year to this point. And so far, so good, Daniel. He has done a phenomenal job. He'll get a good test right here. Michael McNamara, one of the more experienced hitters in this Kent State lineup. In fact, 1 through 4 for Kent State, all seniors.
Yeah, Napshafer had a really solid first inning, Sam. A couple of strikeouts on 2 of their better hitters in the lineup, Josh Johnson and Tim Orr. And they were both looking, too. Froze them.
Michael McNamara takes a ball, 1-0. McNamara comes into the weekend hitting .208, had a double and a sacrifice fly RBI yesterday, the senior from Cleveland, Ohio. Is clobbered high in the air and deep to left center field. That ball is out of here. A solo shot, Michael McNamara, his third homer of the season, and Kent State leads 1-0.
Well, we were just talking about it in the break, Sam. This breeze is kicking out towards left field. When that ball gets up there, that wind is going to carry it a little bit right into the shrubbery beyond that 380 sign in left center field. Good start for the Golden Flashes, trying to force a rubber match tomorrow. That'll get the job done.
No doubt, as Dom Kibler, freshman DH, takes a strike. Michael McNamara has a ton of power. Last year in 57 starts, he was tied for first on the team with 12 homers. This ball is crushed down the right field line, and that is just foul, barely.
I think Dom thought it stayed fair.
Yeah, he kept running.
That was tight, right down there, down the line. First base umpire right on it. He's got the best view in the house. Got to trust his eyes.
Dom Kibler, who also is a catcher, can catch for Kent State. .262 average on the season. That is outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Freshman from New Berlin, Wisconsin, out of New Berlin West. 1-2 is fouled back. We'll do it again at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That home run for McNamara, his third on the season, 12th RBI. Got every part of that ball. Turned the fastball around and said sayonara.
1-2 is high, 2-2. So it's the second straight game Kent State has scored first and scored first via the solo homer. Yesterday was Kyle Jackson on the first pitch of the game. And now today, Michael McNamara. 2-2, a check swing, foul. So Kent State comes into the weekend red hot. Ohio cooled them down a bit yesterday. Turned the AC on.
Literally.
Kent State.
Chilly yesterday.
It was chilly. Cloudy day. Now we got
beautiful.
Nothing but sunshine. This is lifted foul down the right field line.
And right off the top of that little skinny wall down there. Did you see that?
I did. That's worth something. Maybe.
Pride.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out here in the top of the second inning. Knapp Schaefer delivers, and that skips in front of home plate. 3-2.
I'll do you one better, Sam. You were talking about how Kent State has scored first in both of these games, both of them via the home run. Yesterday it was a leadoff home run in the first. Today, leadoff home run in the second inning. So both the leadoff hitters getting it going.
Yeah, 2 guys that just have an insane amount of power. 3-2 upstairs, ball 4. Knapp Schaefer, after a very solid first inning, is in some trouble right now. His first inning, 2 strikeouts, both looking. And, it's not an easy top of the lineup to face. Kyle Jackson, Josh Johnson, Tim Orr. Here's Jake Casey, the junior right fielder who moves up 2 spots in the batting order today. Hit 8th yesterday. Slider hits the top of the strike zone. 0-1.
Well, I talked about it yesterday, Sam. Head coach Jeff Duncan, when we talked to him, emphasized a complete lineup 1 through 9. So he's not just looking at those top 3 hitters in the order. He's looking at every bit of 4 through 9 as well. You know, getting that home run from his cleanup guy, McNamara. Obviously, you put him in that cleanup spot thinking there's going to be some guys on base for him, but any way you can get runs, you'll take it. Very solid lineup here for Kent State this season.
The 0-1, and time is called. Tim Knapschafer just balked, I believe.
Or
no,
they have time?
I think the 20-second clock, pitch clock.
Okay.
Pitch clock.
Haven't seen that yet this year.
Yeah, he took too much time. So there's 20 seconds on the pitch clock in between pitches. If you fail to throw within that time frame, you get a ball on the scoreboard. And so the count's 1-1. Knapschafer, though, bounces right back with a pickoff. He just picked off Dom Kibler.
I'd say that's a little better than a balk.
Right.
Got a guy on second. No, he stays at first. I think Dom Kibler thought that he balked as well on the pitch before. He was on his way to second, but right there you got caught leaning. He might have been taken off on that pitch, Sam. Great move.
Swing and a miss, strike 2. A massive shift for Tim Knapschafer. Jake Casey, the right fielder for Kent State, struggling this season. He did have the big 2-run homer yesterday to make the game interesting, but has struggled for the most part, hitting below 200 coming into this series. 197 to be exact. This is his 18th start of the season. And one of those guys that does have a ton of power. 12 homers last year. 2-2 pitch. Fouled back. Jake Casey is the son of former big leaguer Sean Casey, who played 12 seasons in the big leagues, a 3-time All-Star.
Well, Casey certainly made his father proud with that home run yesterday. That ball was clobbered. Capital C.
Great AB.
There you go. ABCs for you. Right over the batter's eye beyond the 405 sign behind Gideon Ansel out there in center field.
Knapschafer, long pause on the mound. 2-2. And Casey sends this one for a ride. Up, up, and away. Goodbye. Jake Casey's second home run of the series. And it's 2-0 Golden Flashes. That ball hit to right field, close to the Ohio softball field. And we mentioned the power. Kent State putting it on display today. And if his father, Sean, is watching, Sean did that many times in his career. Now, worth mentioning, there was a great article on the Cape Cod Baseball League website. Jake Casey actually spent the 2023 summer with the Orleans Firebirds, a team in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Great article on Jake Casey, and Jake Casey was quoted saying, "When I come to new teams, new situations, I don't mention at first that my dad is Sean Casey. I want them to know me. I want them to know Jake Casey first, not just that I'm the son of a former big leaguer," which I think is a very humble approach to do things. And, you know, he comes to work, shows up every day, does Jake Casey, according to head coach Jeff Duncan, has struggled a bit this season, but in this series, 2 home runs. That's fouled back. This is Connor Ashby, the junior second baseman. Didn't start yesterday, came in as a pinch hitter, though, and the 9-4 loss to Ohio.
Well, Sam, how big is that pickoff over at first base now?
Yeah.
Jake Casey goes deep that same at bat, but you cut down on that 1 run right there. Always trying to look for the positives and the negatives if you're Tim Knapschafer on the mound. Limited at least 1 run with that.
Yeah, that's a big thing to remember. 2-0 rather than 3-0.
Every run matters. Might not seem like a big difference, but when you get down to the nitty-gritty 7, 8, 9, inning 7, 8, 9, when it's a 1-run, 2-run game, every run counts. Not saying that's going to be the case here today, but it very well could be. We saw a fantastic game yesterday. Ohio pulled away late with the 5 runs in the 8th inning, but every run counts. The little things. Coaches emphasize that all the time.
1 ball and 2 strikes, still just 1 out. And the pitch. Fouled back. I have noticed with Tim Knapschafer, he does take a lot of time in between pitches, much different from Dylan Masters, who is right back on the mound quickly.
Yeah, he was cruising.
There is that 20-second pitch clock, which Knapschafer at one point already today didn't get the pitch off in time within that time slot. Here's a strikeout. Ashby is retired. 3rd strikeout of the game for Knapschafer. 2 down in the top of the 2nd inning. The last couple of pitches I've noticed, Tim, the pitch count gets right around 4 seconds remaining. So he does have a slower rhythm to his routine.
And there's pros to both methods. There's pros to working quick. There's pros to taking a while. Sometimes with pitchers that take a while, you can kind of just stare right down at your catcher, take a moment, breathe. A lot of times a hitter in the box, at least I know from my experience playing baseball, when a pitcher would take a while to pitch the ball, I get in my head a lot. A lot of times guys will start to think in the box. They'll get too much in their head. Obviously, it might not happen with everybody, but kind of collect your thoughts there on the mound. Maybe get the guy in the box thinking a little too much, too. A lot of times pitchers will dig in their glove regardless of the pitch they're going to throw. They've got the grip. But I've seen Tim doing that quite a bit. He's doing it right now.
2-0 is on the top of the zone. 2-1. Ripken Reese at the plate, redshirt freshman from Ellicott City, Maryland. 231 average coming into this series. This is his 11th start of the season. Didn't start yesterday. 2-1. Popped up. High fly pop into shallow left center field. Difficult spot for everybody. And there's A.J. Roush. Comes crashing down with the precious pearl. And that ends the inning. 2 home runs, 2 solo blasts. Michael McNamara and Jake Casey. It's 2-0 Golden Flashes as we move to the bottom of the 2nd inning right after this. All right, Cole Williams leads off here in the bottom of the second inning. Back with Daniel Barnard, I'm Sam Hyman. Glad you're with us here from Bob Wren Stadium. The Bobcats trail the Golden Flashes 2-0. Eric Chalice back to work, and he fires a first pitch fastball high. 1 ball and no strikes. Beautiful day here in Southeast Ohio. Temperature right on the dot, 60 degrees. And nothing but sunshine, some wispy clouds in the sky. But other than that, Daniel, and some wind, this is ideal.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day here in the middle of March down here in Athens. Cole Williams at the plate yesterday, 1 for 4 with a double. Hit that one to left center field. That was the one that Tim Orr misjudged out there in left center field, allowed for Williams to swipe an extra bag. He also walked in that one and scored. Working with a 2-strike count right here.
Two is bounced foul to the right side. Cole Williams coming into this series hitting .208. Eric Chalice making his 5th start of the season for Kent State. Danced out of a little bit of difficulty in the first inning. Allowed a double and a walk. Here's the 2-2. And the curveball is fouled back. Eric Chalice from Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, a junior. Fastball, slider, curveball, changeup mix. And a guy that certainly remembers this park when he started his college career, as that is right down the middle, called strike 3, second strikeout for Eric Chalice. Going all the way back to the beginning of Eric Chalice's career at Kent State. His first start in college was actually at Bob Wren Stadium back on March 20th, 2022. He pitched 5 innings, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts in a loss. So looking to change that trend here today, nearly 2 years later.
Well, Sammy faced the Bobcats again last year in his home park, and he struggled there as well. Went 2 innings in that one, gave up 4 runs there as well. So the Bobcats have had his number throughout his 2 appearances against them. Obviously, he's on the mound looking to turn that around here today. He's had a good start in doing so. A couple of base runners in the first inning, but he was able to get out of it unscathed.
2 balls and 1 strike to A.J. Roush, redshirt junior left fielder. Yeah, this is a guy in Eric Chalice who continues to build upon his repertoire of pitches. Coach Duncan said he's got a lot of moxie, hovers around 88, 91 miles an hour with his fastball out of Bethel Park High School. Comes from a winning program as Roush runs that one up the third baseline and into the corner. Fair ball. A.J. Roush storms into second base with a 1-out double.
Second double of the game for the Bobcats. J.R. Nelson in the first inning. Now Roush here in the second inning. Both of them following strikeouts. So hopefully the Bobcats, for their sake, can turn around the pattern that happened after the double in the first inning. But that pitch just scorched right down the third base line. Nothing Kyle Jackson could do about that one. At the bottom of the order, Bryce Smith had a big 2-run single yesterday.
Chalice delivers another nasty curveball. We don't have a radar gun on location for us to see the speed of every single pitch, but that looks like one slow breaking ball.
That would be a cool ad for the University of Ohio to do. Maybe put a little, like where you see the pitch clock out there under the scoreboard, maybe put another, or just to the left of that, maybe put a radar up there. That would be a cool ad.
Absolutely.
I know they got, obviously, there's a couple pitchers behind home plate for Ohio that aren't scheduled to pitch today that run radar and take notes on each of the pitchers out there.
The 0-2, and Smith takes low. Good take on the curve. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So A.J. Roush at second base, just his second double of the season. the only Bobcat to start in every game this season, all 15, now 16 games, counting today. 1-2, foul tip into the midst, strike 3, and that is Eric's third strikeout, 2 down in this inning for Nick Dolan. I mentioned briefly about Eric Chalice and how he comes from a winning program, not only at Kent State, who won 40-plus games last year, but at a high school, Bethel Park High School to be exact. He led the team to a Class 5A state title in 2021 and recorded the final out of that game, of that championship game, capping off an unbelievable year. Strike 1 to Nick Dolan. Went 11-0 that season, a .97 ERA, 91 strikeouts, 4 walks, a ridiculous separation between strikeout total and walk total when he helped lead Bethel Park High School to a state championship in 2021. 0-1 is downstairs, and Dolan did not go around. 1 ball and 1 strike. And Kent State pitching coach, we know, and we've talked about, is a legend. He's been the pitching coach since 2004, Mike Birkbeck. He was actually at that game. He was at that game to watch the, at the time, future Golden Flash star before his very eyes. And now here he is as a junior several years later.
I'd say he definitely made an impression on him. Now here on the big stage now.
Absolutely. Lots changed. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Nick Dolan. And the curveball balloons too far outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nick Dolan, the third baseman for Ohio. He's been in a job battling for the starting job, I should say, with Taylor Gill over at third base. Dolan making his second consecutive start. And that hits him. That hit Nick Dolan on, I think, the knee or at least the leg, some area there. We couldn't quite see exactly, but that extends the inning and turns the lineup over for a very dangerous hitting Paulie Mancino.
Well, anytime a pitcher surrenders a free pass to the number 9 hitter to continue an inning, you know they're kicking themselves on the mound. You get the top of the order here for Ohio coming up. 3 guys that are super, super solid at the plate. 2 guys already on base. Paulie had a great day yesterday at the plate. Looks at a first pitch strike right there, but a home run and a triple. Looking for a little Paulie magic at the plate.
Little Paulie power.
There you go.
0-1 the count after the curveball. Paulie Mancino, freshman, awaits, and that's outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. We spoke to Paulie after the game yesterday, and he said the biggest focus this week for him in practice has been driving the ball to the opposite field. He did that.
Twice.
He did it twice yesterday for those 2 hits you mentioned, the homer and the triple. Here's the 1-1, and that's high, 2-1.
Yeah, he was 2 for 2 in that one. A couple of RBIs for him. One of them obviously coming on that opposite field home run. Also drove Bryce Smith in with his triple. Hit by a pitch and stole a base as well. So he was on base 3 times yesterday.
2-0, another nasty off-speed. Strike 2. Eric Chalice is doing a phenomenal job of mixing his pitches. And that curveball, he's spotting it on the inside corner, outside corner, right down the middle. Here comes a big pitch on the horizon. Ready, set, go. Outside. Full count. Good AB here from a freshman.
Really good AB, and with the count running full right here, guys on first and second, 2 outs, they're going to be in motion on the pitch. Great RBI opportunity right here for Paulie.
Paulie Mancino, a freshman from Westlake, Ohio. Breaking ball is down and away. Ball 4.
Great at bat.
Bases are loaded with 2 outs, and here comes another freshman, J.R. Nelson, who entered the weekend with the 2nd best batting average on the team.
Well, he tried to go back to the off speed there in the 3-2 count. Wasn't able to get it to come back over the plate. Pauly Mancino with a great eye up there. Lets that one go, passes the baton.
Breaking ball popped up behind home plate, and that scoots out of play. 0-1. So J.R. Nelson, he doubled yesterday, doubled again in his first at-bat today. Prior to that, had 0 extra base hits this season, and this is his 15th start of the season. So,
would the Bobcats certainly take a double right here?
Yeah. I mean, he's been a singles guy, nothing but singles. And then here in this series has expanded. 0-1 is lifted foul, and J.R. Nelson is going to have to battle with 2 strikes.
Hey, you find your way on base. You find your way getting all these base hits. You're going to have a spot on this team for a long, long time. He's the 2-hole hitter for a reason. 3 RBIs on the season, looking to add to that right here.
0-2 pitch. Breaking ball pulled down the third base line. Fair. 2-out clutch hitting. J.R. Nelson is going to clear the bases. It's a 3-run double for the freshman phenom. And Ohio leads 3-2.
How about that for adding to your total in RBIs? Clearing the bases, his second double of the day, 3rd on the season, 3rd in 2 days. You just talked about it. J.R. Nelson on a tear. That was an exact replica of his first inning double, straight down that third base line. Huge right there for JR.
Ohio has used that third base line a couple of times. A.J. Roush doubled down the third base line in this inning. Wow, a bases clearing double for J.R. Nelson. And we were just talking about how he's starting to expand his game at the plate, not just hitting those singles. He's shown a little bit of power and also hitting the ball down the line and in the gaps and producing extra base hits. His 3rd double of the series. Gideon Antle at the plate for the Bobcats with 2 outs. And the count is 1-2.
I'm sorry, I misspoke there, Sam. I said an exact replica of his first inning double. He hit that one too. Center field his first time around. That was an exact replica of A.J. Roush's double to start this inning.
Yeah, no, it really was. And that ball hugged inside the third base line. 3-2, or 2-2, pardon me, is high. 3-2. So what a response from Ohio. Count is 2-2, pardon me.
Hard to see that scoreboard out there.
Eric Chalice trying to limit the damage. Already has absorbed 3 runs. Curveball. We're seeing more curveballs, just observing Chalice here. More curveballs, it appears, than fastballs.
Well, it's been working for him, at least through the first inning and a third, inning and 2/3. He was getting a lot of swings and misses, a lot of frozen looks at the plate, but his top of the order able to make a great adjustment on it. And 3 runs have resulted. Even the bottom of the order, for that matter. Obviously, A.J. Roush with the double. Nick Dolan worked a great at-bat before getting hit on the knee by a pitch. All of this with 2 outs, Sam. Outside of the A.J. Roush double, Bryce Smith struck out right after him, but then 3 consecutive base runners, 2 free passes, and a 3 RBI double by the man standing on second, J.R. Nelson, right now.
2-2 is bounced foul. And the count is still 2-2 to Gideon Antle, who grounded out his first time up. What an answer from the Bobcats. Ohio trailed 2-0 after an inning and a half. Kent State hit 2 solo homers. That's the key, 2 solo homers. Gideon Antle grounds this foul third base side. So it was only a 2-0 deficit going into the bottom of the second inning.
And remember, Sam, that pickoff at first base, like we were talking about,
It's huge
it's
right
big.
now. That's the difference in the game.
It's a big difference. It could be a tie game right now. Instead, it's 3-2 in favor of Ohio. Getting the job done with runners on base. It was one of my keys here early in the game. Got to get the guys around that get on.
The 2-2, and Antle punches it into right field. Right fielder Casey dives and makes the catch. Jake Casey homered in the top of the second and makes a beautiful snag in the bottom half. But not before the Bobcats push 3 runs across on one swing. J.R. Nelson, his second double of the game, and it cleared the bases to give Ohio a 3-2 lead. We go to the third inning right after this from Athens, Ohio. Back underway here at Bob Wren Stadium. First pitch swung on and missed for strike one. Bo Schinkel, the only batter on either side yet to have a plate appearance. Freshman left fielder out of the 9 spot for the Golden Flashes. And quickly, 0-2. So Tim Knapschafer looking to have a much more polished inning after he gave up 2 homers in the top of the second. That's outside, 1-2. J.R. Nelson, if you're just joining us, 3-run double to give Ohio a 3-2 lead here in the top of the third inning now. A major response. And this is such a big series early in the year. Ohio picked 5th in the MAC preseason poll. Kent State, the projected favorites in the league. And this is a Kent State team coming into the weekend winning 7 of their previous 8 games.
It's been the tale of 2 stories.
Yeah.
Opposite start and continuation. They lose 7 of their first 8, then win 7 of their next 8. 7 of their next 9, I guess you could say now, with the loss yesterday. 8 and 9, as you said, coming into today. They got a tough schedule, Sam. A lot of Big Ten opponents midweek games. They'll play Pittsburgh after leaving Athens this weekend, and then they'll go on later in the season. They'll play Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan. A lot of big-time opponents right there. Battle-tested. Serve them well going into the later half of the regular season, and if they're able to make it into the MAC tournament as well.
We certainly expect a team like Kent State to
absolutely
make the MAC tournament, and there's still a ton of baseball left as the 1-1 is way upstairs 2 balls and 1 strike. Actually, the next weekend series for Kent State will not be a MAC series. Kent State will host St. Joe's, and their next MAC series is at Western Michigan.
Next home series for the Bobcats is Western Michigan. 3 weeks.
2-1 to Kyle Jackson is outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Kyle Jackson, senior from Bowling Green, Ohio. This is his 135th career start with the Golden Flashes. And this ball is crushed by baseball. Kyle Jackson, for the second time this series, has gone yard. And we're tied at 3. He's got some serious power.
He didn't just go yard right there. He got, I don't know exactly how many stitches are on a baseball, but he got every last one of them. My goodness, he knew it right off the bat, too. He admired that home run, as he should. You hit a ball that well. Take your time. I think that one hit off the roof of the indoor batting cage for Ohio, right behind the softball field. I didn't see it bounce. It may have landed right in the gutter, but
it may still be in the air somewhere.
It might be on Court Street.
It was hit a long ways. Kyle Jackson, he has been through a lot in his college baseball career and prior.
Hey, but then again, we talked about it earlier, solo home run.
Yeah.
Just 1 run. Obviously, you don't want to give up any, but if you're going to, do it when there's nobody on base. At least that's one small positive you can look at if you're Tim. He's going to get a visit here from the pitching coach.
Yeah, it's Tim Brown. So, yeah, going back to Kyle Jackson, what a journey it's been for him, battling through adversity. He spent the summer of 2023 with the St. Cloud Rocks in the Northwoods League. And there was a great article on the Rocks website that talked about Kyle, who only a few months after signing a letter of intent to play at Kent State, he suffered a shoulder injury, completely tore his labrum on his right shoulder while playing high school football, so not even baseball, and missed his senior year of high school baseball. There's a great article. Again, go check it out on the St. Cloud Rocks website. You just Google Kyle Jackson, and it'll pop up. And went through another surgery on a couple of years later, 2022, while he was at Kent State. So he's been through a ton. As Josh Johnson swings and misses for a strike, 2-1. And to see him perform the way he has today, this is our first taste of watching Kyle Jackson.
Certainly given us a lot to watch.
Absolutely.
A great show, you could say.
2-2, good bounce back here. Napshafer after 2-0, now to 2-2. Johnson struck out looking his first time up. And swung on and missed, strike 3. The slider, nice work from Napshafer. It's his 4th strikeout. And that'll bring up Tim Orr, the senior from Canton, Ohio, only about 10, 11 miles from Kent State's campus, but was not recruited by Kent State out of high school. Started his college career at Tiffin University, a Division II school, 3 seasons with Tiffin, and he was an absolute stud last year, ranked 3rd across all of Division II with a .452 batting average, and this year hitting .456. And that, oh, wow. Guess that just missed a bit low. 2 balls and no strikes to Tim Orr. We asked Coach Duncan about Tim. They didn't have any idea about Tim coming out of high school, and he was only about 10, 11 miles from campus growing up. Here's a ground ball, right side. Alex Finney gobbles it up, throws to first, and that retires the side.
Nice play.
Kyle Jackson A solo shot. There are 3 homers in this game. Kent State has all of them, and they're all solo shots. So 3-3 is our score as we move to the bottom of the 3rd inning right after this from Bob Wrenn Stadium.
Is he?
All right, we start the bottom of the 3rd inning from Bob Wrenn Stadium alongside Daniel Barnard. I'm Sam Hyman. Alex Finney leads off the home half of the 3rd inning, and what is looking like yet another intense game here in this series between Ohio and Kent State. Eric Chalice delivers a first pitch fastball on the outside corner, strike 1.
Well, Finney made the nice play out there at second, ranging to his left to end the top half of the inning. He gets to start the bottom half at the plate. See if he can't carry over the success from the field to the plate. First time around, he walked, was stranded there at first base.
1-1, and Finney punches it into right center field. The 5th-year senior has a leadoff single in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Ohio has looked very sharp offensively in this series, and yesterday the difference, we talked about it earlier, was the consistency up and down the order. It wasn't just the guys at the top, Pauly Mancino, J.R. Nelson, Gideon Antle. The bottom of the order was incredibly productive, and that's where Ohio's headed at the moment here as we hit the number 5 hitter, Trey Cassidy. Yesterday's game, A.J. Roush had a bunt single. Bryce Smith, a 2-run single. Nick Dolan had 2 bunt singles. Ohio bunted a ton yesterday.
A lot of small ball.
Trey Cassidy takes just low, 1 ball, no strikes. We spoke to Coach Moore at the beginning of the season and asked him, what's the identity of this offense? And he said, we're not going to overpower you with the home run. Not going to happen all the time. So look for small ball, look for some steals. Ohio was actually more aggressive, according to Coach Moore yesterday, than they've been all season. 3 stolen bases.
Yeah, I would say that I agree with that statement for sure. He had 9 coming into the weekend and 3 yesterday, brings the total up to 12.
A lot of fans did not like that call by home plate umpire Bryce McCalla. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bottom of the 3rd inning, Trey Cassidy, freshman catcher, awaits. And the fastball buzzes on the inside corner. Strike 2.
I like to always say, just don't leave it in the hands of the umpire. Obviously, 1 strike, maybe not the best pitch to go after. He's got a big lead over there at first base.
Alex Finney, he dove back, nearly didn't touch the base when he dove back. He was so far off the bag.
Well, it's a slower move on the mound for Chalice, but you got to be wary because a lot of times pitchers will make their first move with a little slower pace, but then they'll come right back at you, a quick back step off the mound, and they'll fire over, try to catch you off guard. And you hear a lot of guys talk about throwing off the timing of hitters. A lot of pitchers like to throw off the timing of base runners as well. Or it could also just be one of those cases of he just can't get it over to first base that fast. haven't seen enough of it yet to really be sure.
There goes Finney. Lifted foul down the left field line. Ohio trying to hit and run with nobody out in the bottom of the third inning. Game tied at 3. Over 60 pitches now for Eric Chalice, the southpaw from Bethel Park, Pennsylvania.
Both pitchers' pitch count getting up there a little bit here early.
And another check on Finney. Finney clearly is in Eric Chalice's mind right now. A pickoff has been the difference in Kent State leading this game. Now it's tied. This is looped into shallow left center field, and that plops in. A miniature splash. Back-to-back singles for Ohio. Alex Finney and now Trey Cassidy, his 6th hit of the season.
It might not have been as hard of a hit that Alex Finney had previously, but it's going to show up the same exact way in the scorebook. Nice little bloop single right there for Trey Cassidy. Continues his strong start to the season. Came into the afternoon batting right around 420 at 419.
Yeah,
he's 1 for 2 today.
In limited action, too. He was just 5 for 12 at the plate, so.
Small sample size,
right.
but he's still getting the job done.
When given the opportunity, no doubt. Cole Williams steps in, senior from
Talk about depth.
Charlotte.
Yep.
Depth has been there. Strike one. Yeah, that was one of the things that I asked you earlier on.
Mm-hmm.
What are you most curious about today? Depth, which lineup's going to be deeper today and produce?
Well, we talked about the consistency of OU's lineup yesterday. You can look up and down the line so far today, producing.
Cole Williams bunts that ball foul, and the count is 0-2 on the senior from Charlotte, North Carolina. Transferred from Marshall. This is his 2nd season in Athens out of Myers Park High School. First and second with nobody out. Ohio and Kent State deadlocked at 3. And Williams inside out swing. Jackson to second for 1. Relay to first is in time. Double play. 5-4-3 double play. And 2 down. Finney is at third, but that's exactly what Kent State was looking for to start the potential bounce back frame.
Well, I'll tell you what, Sam, that was impressive right there by Kyle Jackson. He had Alex Finney coming straight at us. Honestly, a little bit surprised he didn't just go right at Finney, try to get the lead runner, but he gets a double play at the end of things, so he'll certainly take that. 2 outs is much better than 1, but he had to throw around Alex Finney coming at him. That's a tough throw to keep that on the line for the second baseman, Ashby, and then on Ashby's part, able to turn and fire that back to first in time. That was very smooth all across the infield for the Golden Flashes.
1-0 pitch outside, 2-0. A.J. Roush doubled and scored his last time up. Redshirt junior from Powell, Ohio. And Roush strikes it through the left side. 2 out single brings in Alex Finney. Ohio back on top 4-3.
Great piece of hitting right there from Roush. Just turned the fastball around, hit it right past the shortstop, McNamara. Bobcats back out in front like you said, Sam. That was Roush's 11th RBI on the season. He's got 4 home runs to go with that. That one just an RBI single, though.
We have seen Ohio score all 4 runs today with 2 outs. Now 3 of the 4 came on 1 swing, but impressive Roush takes off, throw down to second, and it bounces away from McNamara's mitt. So A.J. Roush has a stolen base. Ohio stole 3 bases yesterday. Roush had one of them.
And that's his 4th on the season. A couple of bags. He's doubled his stolen base total this weekend. 4 and 6 attempts.
Bryce Smith, the grad student, awaits. And the fastball darts low. 1-1.
Bobcats as a team have 3 guys in double digits in the RBI column. Gideon Ansel leading that category, but A.J. Roush, as I said, just notched his 11th. Getting guys in. This might be another one.
Absolutely. That one dumps into shallow center field. A.J. Roush scores. Bryce Smith. And the Bobcats lead 5-3. All 5 runs with 2 outs in this game. And Ohio looking very good right now offensively.
Aggression, Sam. That stolen base set up that run right there with 2 outs. A.J. Roush doesn't steal second base right there. All he's doing is standing on second, maybe third right now, but that run's not across. So the aggressive nature of Coach Moore and the Bobcats proving dividends right now. Gonna get a mound visit by the man himself, Birkbeck, Mike Birkbeck. 20th year, as you've talked about a couple times. Yeah, getting out there just to settle his guy down.
Yeah, he's trying to calm down Eric Chalice. Coach Duncan said that Mike Birkbeck is very good at working with different types of pitchers, and also said that he's got a calm and tense demeanor, demands a lot out of the pitchers, and Eric Chalice in a tough spot. He's coming off a pretty solid outing, 5 innings, didn't allow a run against Central Michigan. Central Michigan, though, has struggled so far this season coming into the weekend, 3-14 overall record. Nick Dolan swings and misses, strike 1.
I don't know if you saw that right there on that first swing from Dolan. He stepped out, pulling that head a little bit, pulling the feet out. Wasn't able to get the bat head out to that baseball right there on that outside part of the plate. If I'm Chalice, I'm attacking that outside part again.
Popped up in the infield, second base side, and Connor Ashby makes the catch to retire the side. A.J. Roush and Bryce Smith, a couple of 2-out RBI singles to extend Ohio's lead. It was 3-3 heading into that frame. Ohio now has grabbed the lead back, 5-3, moving on to the 4th inning right after this.
We back?
And we welcome you back to Bob Wren Stadium for the play-by-play. Here's Daniel Barnard.
Thank you, Sam. We'll start with Michael McNamara batting for the second time today. His first time around, clobbered that home run into the shrubbery out in left center field. His third home run on the year. Gets another shot at Nap Schaefer on the mound. Quickly in a 2-0 count. That one didn't miss by much. Maybe just a little low right there with the fastball from Nap Schaefer. Bottom half of the previous inning, Ohio able to tack on a couple runs, give themselves a 5-3 lead coming into the middle frames of this ball game. And McNamara at the plate looking to start a little rally of their own, Golden Flashes zone for that matter. 3-0 count. Here's the pitch, and that one stays low and away. So a leadoff 4-pitch walk for McNamara at the plate. It's the second walk of the ball game from Nap Schaefer. And he's going to get a visit from his catcher, Trey Cassidy.
Yeah, and I think moving forward with this game, whichever pitching staff can limit the damage is going to win. Because both pitchers have been vulnerable today. And right now, Nap Schaefer, for what he's done thus far, you know, giving up the long ball 3 times, he's got to be careful, especially with runners now on base.
Absolutely, Sam. Couldn't have said it better myself. First pitch into Kibler is called a strike. Nap Schaefer surrendered 3 hits on the day, all 3 of them those solo shots. And it was Kibler who last time around he walked, but he was picked off at first base just before a Jake Casey solo home run. So instead of a 5-4 ball game, it's a 5-3 ball game. Kibler working with a 1-ball, 1-strike count right now. But as I said, Jake Casey waiting on deck. He hit a home run yesterday, has another one here today. You know he'd love to come back up to the plate with a couple guys on, try to do damage again.
Absolutely. And right now for Tim Nap Schaefer, you're looking for a ground ball. You're looking for, first of all, finding the strike zone again, but a ground ball would be ideal.
The 2-1 is inside, and it got him. Dom Kibler hit in the leg. Flips the bat. He'll make his way slowly down to first base, and now he sprints. He's got to get it a little loose, work out the bruise that I'm sure he'll have there in a little bit. But another free pass. 2 of them to start the inning. That's Kibler's second free pass of the ballgame. He doesn't have an at-bat yet. Got 2 plate appearances, but no at-bats for him. So a couple of guys on for the power threat of Jake Casey.
And there is some activity starting down the left field line for Ohio in the bullpen. This is a dangerous spot. Really the first time Kent State's had multiple runners on base. Weird to say. Again, all 3 runs coming from a solo home run.
And this is where they struggled yesterday. The bottom of the order, hitters 5 through 9, really. But so far today, 5 and 6. Kibler and Casey have both reached all 3 times at the plate. Still trying to get the 7, 8, 9 going, and Ashby, Reese, and Schinkel, they'll be due up here in just a second. As for now, Jake Casey takes that one upstairs.
And I think here, obviously, smart to not intentionally walk Jake Casey because there's 2 runners on, but you want to be very careful and pitch on the corners and not give Casey anything pretty.
Yeah, you want to work around a guy like this. Big swing and a miss right there. Runs the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runners on first and second, courtesy of a walk and a hit by pitch. Here's the 1-2. Just off the outside corner. Trey Cassidy extending the mitt.
A lot of Nap Schaefer's misses have been outside to left-handed hitters.
All of these All 3 of the home runs today have been turned on. That one is swung on and missed. They got him, but the runner is going to take first base. I thought he should have been. It was a drop third strike, but I thought the rule was that if there's a guy on first base, you can't advance. So, yeah, so Jake Casey's going to head back to the dugout, but that's still a live ball, Sam. So both runners move up to second and third. Jake Casey just not able to take first there because first base was occupied. So
it's a good call.
Even though it's a drop third strike, it is still strike 3, and the runner is out. Good heads-up awareness by Cassidy not to fire that down to first base, too. Heads up for him for knowing the rule behind the plate, risking an errant throw down the first base line for a throw that didn't even need to occur.
Yeah, he definitely did the right thing there. Knew the situation, didn't force anything, and a big out, but now runners in scoring position.
Yes. Pitch in there. Good pitch right there from Napshafer. Evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Connor Ashby at the plate. Struck out his first time around. He did appear in yesterday's game as a pinch hitter, getting his first start of the weekend today. The 1-1 on the ground to short. This is going to score a run. He's going to go to third with it. J.R. Nelson heads up. Back to second there in a pickle. They tagged the runner out there. Great play right there from J.R. Nelson. Cuts down the runner in between second and third base. That was Dom Kibler getting put out right there. The run does come across to score. McNamara comes across, makes it a 1-run ball game. But now instead of a runner on third with 2 outs, it's a runner on first. A fielder's choice right there. 6-5-4 on the putout.
Yeah, and to that play right there, breaking it down here in just a second after this pitch to Ripken Reese, we're going to get a pickoff attempt. So J.R. Nelson did the right thing there. You're taught if a ball is hit left side of the infield and there's a runner at second base, you go ahead and try and get that lead runner.
Yep.
And for the runner at second, Dom Kibler, he didn't have to go. He could have stayed at second base as a base runner. This is at least what I was taught in high school.
Mm-hmm.
When there's a ball that's hit in front of you to either short or third, you stay at second. Now, Kibler trying to be aggressive maybe.
Yeah.
Not going to say that was the wrong decision, but Nelson made the right move and did not hesitate at all and made a fantastic decision.
Well, now at the plate, Ripken Reese, and an even count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Sam, that's the second time today that Kibler's been put out on the bases. He was the one that was picked off back in the second inning. Now runs into an out in between second and third here. Good heads-up awareness by the Bobcats on the infield. That one paints the corner. Nice fastball right there from Napshafer on the mound. He's ahead in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes, trying to get out of this 4th inning with just 1 run crossing the plate.
Ohio has played some terrific defense today.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Tim Napshafer sets down the Golden Flashes. He does surrender 1, but that's all. 5-4 Ohio. We'll head to the bottom half of the 4th. Stick with us. The Bobcat faithful out in full force this afternoon. It's a great shot of them right there. Bottom half of inning number 4 set to get started, and the Bobcats will bring up the top of the order against Eric Chalice, Paulie Mancino, J.R. Nelson, and Gideon Antle set to go against Chalice the third time around in the order. Chalice's first pitch on the way. That one in there for a called strike. Paulie Mancino 0 for 1. He walked and scored back in inning number 2. As Sam said earlier on in this one, his third start in the leadoff spot this season. He got one yesterday, getting another one today. It's 3 straight games in the leadoff spot for him. His first one against Moorhead State on Tuesday. Pops this one up on the infield. Is that one going to get out of play? The catcher over, and he makes the grab. Nice play right there by Ripken Reese, able to stay focused on that ball all the way through. He got pretty close to that dugout poking out, but I'm sure the guys in the dugout were letting him know that he had room along the side right there. Good play.
Paulie Mancino's swing there was just a little bit long. He's so short to the ball for the most part, but a little long there on that swing.
J.R. Nelson lays down a beautiful bunt. That one's going to stay fair. Oh, he's getting it done with the power. A couple of doubles today, and now right there, a drag bunt catches the Golden Flashes by surprise. He's 3 for 3, and once again, another bunt single for the Bobcats this weekend.
J.R. Nelson, ladies and gentlemen, he is the real deal.
He's having a day.
He is only a freshman, and my goodness, I've watched J.R. Nelson not every game this year, but the games that I've watched, I mean, he is such a gamer. And Gideon Antle, who's at the plate right now, he told me that JR has incredible work ethic and talent and is just always at the field, in the cages, even when he doesn't have to be. It's remarkable to see. And Gideon actually said that J.R. Nelson reminds him of Gideon as a freshman. So that type of grit, work ethic, I mean, it has been fun to watch.
Gideon at the plate looks at that fastball on the outside corner for a called strike. It's great, I'm sure, coming in as a freshman with a guy that you can look up to like Gideon Antle to sort of take you under his wing, and that's exactly what Gideon has done for JR, and both of them at the top of the order, the 2-3 spot, getting the job done for the Bobcats this season on both sides of the ball, both of them plus defenders. JR, a very good shortstop.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about his hitting. He's 3 for 3. He made a big-time play
Yes, he did.
at shortstop in the last half inning that, you know, might not really pop out at you when you look at the scorecard, but it was so important.
Here's the pitch. That one stays outside. Sharp eye right there from Gideon. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, we talked about it earlier. It's the little things, Sam. Knowing where to go with the baseball before it's hit. Quick throw over right there from Chalice. That's what I was talking about earlier. He's lobbed a couple of them over, try to throw off the timing of that base runner. A quick step off right there in a throw. He bounced it, though. Maybe not as much power going in that direction. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase at a pitch in the dirt. Good off speed right there from Eric Chalice. Sets down Antle. He's 0 for 3 now.
Yeah, that's rare to see. Gideon Antle has been an absolute monster at the plate, but quiet in this game.
So that'll bring up Alex Finney. He's reached base both times today. A line drive single into right center field his last time around. Just poked it right over the second baseman's head. Quick throw over to first again. Checking on J.R. Nelson at first base. Bobcats have been aggressive with 2 outs so far in this series. Chalice trying to limit that. Here's the first pitch to Finney. There goes the runner. Quick throw down, and they're not going to get him. Bounces behind the second baseman, Ashby. And that's a stolen base for J.R. Nelson.
He is 5 for 5 on stolen bases this season, Daniel. And, you know, this series, I think, Coach Moore has made some adjustments. We talk about a couple of them here in just a second, but as this pitch is low, so making some adjustments in this series puts Paulie Mancino at the top of the order. That's one adjustment. And then he told us after the game yesterday, look, we're being more aggressive on the base paths in this series. 3 stolen bases last night.
This one on the ground to third. Jackson bobbles it, stays with it. Strong throw, still got him. Nice play right there from Kyle Jackson to stick with it. J.R. Nelson stranded at second. The Bobcats not able to tack on. We'll head to the 5th. Stay with us on Bobcat TV. Bottom of the order, 9-1-2. I should say bottom and top of the order due up here for the Golden Flashes. Top half of inning number 5. Nap Schaefer still on the mound for the Bobcats. Bo Schinkel looks at the first pitch off the outside corner. 1 ball and no strikes.
Ohio would really like to get at least one more inning out of Tim Nap Schaefer. He's at 83 pitches right now.
The 1-0 is flared foul. That'll get out of play. Golden Flashes coming off an inning where they were able to hold Ohio scoreless. The second and third inning, not much of the same. So coming off of a scoreless frame, looking to capitalize on that and get back in the scoring column. That pitch stays outside. 2 balls and 1 strike now to Schinkel at the plate. 5-4 ball game here at Bob Wren Stadium. A beautiful afternoon for baseball. Just a couple of clouds in the sky. Schinkel right back up the middle. It hits Nap Schaefer, and Schinkel is going to reach. Nap Schaefer, good sign, quickly back up to his feet. I think that one got him on the arm. He's looking down at his left arm, his throwing arm. Or not, I'm sorry, not his throwing arm, but his fielding arm. He'll get a visit from seemingly every single athletic trainer in that dugout. It's a great sign that he got right back up, though, Sam.
Yeah, it really is. And, you know, those are always scary. Natural reaction is to put your hands up and not to just completely duck. It's tough to just react so quickly to just fall and get out of the way of it completely. So Nap Schaefer put his hands up in the air there, and I think on first glance we don't have replay right now, so we can't get you another look at it, but I believe on first glance it hit him on like the outside part of his hand.
Which, all things considered, if you're going to get hit by a comebacker,
Yeah.
nowhere's a good spot, but that's a good spot to get hit. If that makes any sense.
And I think it hit his throwing hand though, which
it did look like he was looking down at his left hand. I'm not sure, but we'll see. See if he tries to throw a couple warm-up pitches or if they're gonna. It looks like he's going to. Trey Cassidy jogging back to the plate. I think they're going to test it out. It is worth noting that, as you said a couple of innings ago, Nap Schaefer will get a nice round of applause. Take a couple warm-up pitches. There is a guy warming in that Bobcat bullpen if they do have to go there and end Nap Schaefer's day early. But he looks to be okay on the mound, firing in a couple warm-up pitches, and he's going to stay in. So kudos to Tim, toughing it out. Nobody down, Bo Schinkel on first. That'll bring the top of the order to the plate. Kyle Jackson homered his last time around. Nap Schaefer trying to get his revenge before his day's over. A scary comebacker, but we're all good. Nap Schaefer still out there on the mound. He spins and throws. Back in safely is Bo. 1 for 2 so far today for Jackson at the plate. That home run that hit the top of the roof of the Bobcats' indoor batting cage in right center field. He squares the bunt, drops one down the third base line. It's going to roll foul. A smart idea right there from Jackson. We saw it with J.R. Nelson back in the last half inning, a couple of doubles for him, and then he turns one around, lays it down the third base line. This time Jackson trying to take a page out of that book, but he just pushed it a little too far foul.
Yeah, really nice attempt, excuse me, from Kyle Jackson. I'm very impressed with the tools that Jackson has displayed in this series. He's got a great arm at third base, and he can hit for power and also do something like that, drop down a bunt.
No balls, 1 strike, another quick throw over. Trying to keep Bo Schinkel close. This is Bo's first time on base so far today. He's now 1 for 2. He's got a very open stance leading off the bag at first. Here's the pitch. That one stays outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nap Schaefer keeping a close eye over at first while tasked with the big challenge at the plate. That is Kyle Jackson. Deep breath for Tim on the mound. Long look in. With 1 second on the pitch clock, gets it off, and that one fouled out of play.
That's a good call. I'm glad you brought that up, Daniel, because we talked a little bit about that early in the game, and one time in the game, Nap Schaefer did not get the pitch off in time, so the batter was awarded a ball.
Mm-hmm.
So
what's the second mark if a hitter's not ready? Do you know?
Like if
a hitter's not ready, like, and they get and there's a strike that's put against them, like there is in the big leagues. It's like 8 seconds if the hitter's not ready, and in the box by there's a automatic strike.
That's a good question. The hitter, because the pitch clock doesn't necessarily start until the pitcher steps on the rubber.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll have to check that.
I know in the big leagues, here's the pitch. That one fouled straight back to the screen, so we'll do it again. I know in the big leagues it's something like 8 seconds if the batter isn't alert and looking at the pitcher. The pitcher will be given an automatic strike.
It is 8 seconds.
It is 8 seconds? Okay.
Yeah.
No issues with that. Just curious on the timing right there. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jackson. Another spin and a throw over. Back in safely. Keeping everybody on their toes. Nap Schaefer. A deep breath. Under 5 seconds again. Another throw over.
Well, you mentioned 8 seconds for Major League Baseball.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually 5 seconds for college baseball.
Is it 5 seconds for college? Okay. A little bit of a difference right there for you. Long look in. Here's the pitch. The 1-2 just missed. Napshafer wanted that one. The backdoor breaking ball doesn't get the call. That was a great pitch, though. In a 1-2 count, you can wiggle a little bit. Let's see if he comes right back at him here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Just off the outside part again. And I'll tell you, from my vantage point up here, I think these are good calls. They certainly do look just a little bit off that outside corner.
Well, those 2 pitches were the same spot, so the umpire was consistent there.
Yep. Full count, the payoff pitch. Here it is. The runner goes. Fouled off down the first base line. Oh, we'll do it again. Great at-bat right here from Jackson. He's fouled several pitches off. And he's working in a full count. Had to battle back after being down in the count to get to this spot. 1 for 2 today, looking to add to his total. 5-4 ball game. Another throw over. That one was closer right there.
Yeah, Bo is leaning towards second base. Tim Napshafer he's got a fancy little pickoff move.
Well, he did take off on that last pitch. Did Bo. We'll see if he does again. Another throw over. Somebody get a counter going for how many times Tim's thrown over in this at-bat. I know that's a rule in the big leagues. You can only throw over a couple of times in one at-bat. MLB's way of trying to limit that, cut down on some time. Here we go. He's going again. That pitch inside, the stolen base won't matter. Ball 4 to Kyle Jackson, a terrific at-bat right there. And we'll see how much of a leash they're gonna give Tim.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's
And
going to take a
like
lot.
Here he comes.
Yeah, I was going to say it's going to take a lot for Tim to get out of this inning.
There it is. Call to the bullpen. I apologize talking over you right there, but we are going to get a call to the bullpen right here. Tim Napshafer's day is over. He works 4 innings, gives up 4, but he is responsible for the 2 on base. We'll step aside and be back. Pitching change here at Bob Wren. Back here in the middle of the top half of inning number 5. Tim Napshafer's day is over after 4 innings of work. As I said before we went to the break, he is responsible for Bo Schinkel out at second and Kyle Jackson at first base, but tasked with working around this jam, Hudson Bockel. Sam, what do we have on him?
Yeah, so Hudson Bonkel, 6.75 ERA across only 4 innings, so not a ton to really unpack here. This is his 4th appearance of the season, and again, 4 innings, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts. His last appearance, really his only rough appearance, was actually against Lipscomb way back on February 18th, so almost exactly 1 month ago. He pitched a scoreless 2 innings last weekend against Northern Illinois, but a little bit of command struggles so far and a small sample size.
Kyle Jackson is on first base, courtesy of a walk, squaring around to bunt, popping it up, but getting it down. That's a good one, and everybody's going to be safe. Josh Johnson turns around and gets one down quickly. It did pop up in the air a little bit, but landed right where he had hoped it would. And right in no man's land. The bases are going to be loaded now with nobody down. This is not a guy coming to the plate that you want coming up with the bases loaded and nobody down. Tim Orr, 0 for 2 today, so one might say he is due. The first pitch off the outside corner. 1 ball and no strikes. Tricky situation for Hudson Bockel, fresh out of the bullpen. The 1-0 in the dirt.
You look at Ohio's defensive alignment right now. The corner infielders, first and third, are even with their respective bags. Middle infielders are double play depth, so Ohio will trade 2 outs for a run.
A 2-0. That clips the outside corner into the strike zone. 2 balls, 1 strike. I mean, 1 swing of the bat. Tim can do a lot of damage in this game. Here's the pitch. Oh, we got him out in front right there, the off-speed pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That was pretty right there from Bockel.
Yeah, great job by Hudson Bockel. Now this is the pitch. This is the get-me pitch coming up.
Huge pitch, the 2-2 in the dirt. Bounces in front of home plate. Good block right there from Trey Cassidy, though. Pass ball, and we got a tie ball game.
I think right here you either got to go up and in with a heater or maybe a backdoor.
Here it is, the 3-2. He did go up and in with the heater, but he missed. Ball 4, and that's going to bring a run across the tying run. Bo Schinkel touches home plate, and we are all knotted up once again. Back to square one. 5-5. Heart of the order, Michael McNamara, who's already homered today, steps up to the dish.
Well, you know, Hudson Bockel, right idea. Go up and in after a breaking ball. But those are the pitches you just have to locate. And, again, we talked about this earlier. We know both offenses are red hot in this series. Which pitching staff is going to limit the damage? This is still an opportunity for Hudson Bockel.
That one fouled back to the screen. Quickly ahead in the count, 0-2 is Bockel. McNamara going to have to work in a 2-strike count. He's homered and he's walked, scored twice. So he came around to score in that 4th inning. That was the last inning. He let off that frame. Now he bats with the bases loaded, and he swings and misses. Strike 3, a huge strikeout for Bockel on the mound. That's out number 1. Now a double play ends the inning.
Yeah, there it is for Hudson Bockel. Not every hitter is going to chase that. Clearly, Tim Orr didn't chase the high cheddar inside, but great get back from Bockel.
Big bender right there to start Dom Kibler at the plate.
I really like the mix of pitches here from Hudson Bockel. You saw a first pitch breaking ball there right after he got McNamara on a fastball.
The 0-1 check swing. Did he go? He did not, says the field umpire.
Craig Moore is not happy. Ohio's head coach, third base dugout. He just took his specs off for a second.
The 1-1. Another bender. That one clips the zone. Ahead in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kibler, no official at bat so far today. He's walked and gotten hit by a pitch. 1-2. In the air. Shallow left center field. Ansel coming on. He'll make the catch battling the sun, fires it in, but it's not going to be in time. Cut off. And the run's going to score. Sack, fly, RBI for Kibler. And the Golden Flashes lead. It's 6-5.
Yeah, I mean, if that ball was hit maybe 10, 15 yards shallower, we're talking about maybe a bang-bang play at the plate, but just too deep for Gideon Antle to have a chance to make a throw. And just like that, Kent State has grabbed the lead.
And now Jake Casey steps up to the plate, a home run and a strikeout for him today. First pitch, off speed, stays outside and low. Good bounce back for Bockel after walking the first hitter he faced. A strikeout and a fly out. Obviously the fly out, a sacrifice fly. Swing and a miss right there from Casey. 1 ball, 1 strike. Josh Johnson out at second base. Tim Orr over at first. 2 away in the top half of the 5th. Just low with the off speed right there. 2 balls, 1 strike. Big at bat right here. The 2-1. That's in there, evens the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Like we've talked about, trying to limit the damage is Bockel. 2 runs in this inning, both credited to Knapschafer. That one fouled back to the screen.
That actually hit off of Trey Cassidy's face mask.
Oh, did it really? I didn't even see that.
It happened so quickly, and Cassidy shook that off.
Even count, 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Jake Casey down on strikes. Hudson Bockel limits the damage. The Golden Flashes come back to take the lead, though. They get 2. They now lead it 6-5. We'll head to the bottom half of the 5th. Stay with us. The Golden Flashes take the lead in the top half of the inning. What do the Bobcats have in store for the bottom half? Trey Cassidy steps up to the plate to get things started. Eric Chalice back out onto the mound for his 5th inning of work. His counterpart, Tim Knapschafer, chased after 4 innings. He worked into the 5th, but wasn't able to get an out. Now Chalice trying to one-up him here in his 5th inning of work. Cassidy ahead, though, 2 balls, no strikes. He's singled and flown out. He lifts this one into the air, left center field. That's ranging the outfielders back, and it's going to clear the wall. Trey Cassidy, a solo shot to tie it up.
Wow. That is his first career home run, Daniel. And oh, what a time for it. I was just going to say, first of all, I'll pause on that point. The swing from Trey Cassidy, his ability to hit the ball the opposite way, sit back, let the ball travel, and boom, blast it to left center field.
Brand new ball game.
Yeah, brand new ball game. But I was also going to say prior to that hit from Trey Cassidy as Chalice delivers a breaking ball on the outside corner for a strike, Hudson Bonkel, that appearance, he inherited a situation with the bases loaded, or 2 runners on, pardon me, and then bases were loaded with nobody out. He got out of that pretty decently.
Yeah,
only
he did
2
good
runs.
work.
Only 2 runs allowed. Both of those charged to Knapschafer.
He did come in and allowed 2 base runners of his own to reach, but he did limit the damage beautifully. Cole Williams at the plate now, working with a 1-ball and 2-strike count. But yeah, the sac fly from Dom Kibler. That made it 6-5, and now Trey Cassidy's home run to lead things off here in the 5th, his first career blast. Ties us up once again, 6-6. You got a great ball game going on right here, folks. This one on the ground towards short, ranging to his right, a Jeter throw. Not going to be in time. Michael McNamara tried to throw cross body from deep in the 6th hole. That's a tough play for anybody to make. And Cole Williams beats it out, infield single.
You are witnessing as Mike Birkbeck making his way to the mound. Maybe we're going to get a pitching change here. You're looking at it in an Ohio offense. Both of these offenses, 2 of the best in the Mid-American Conference. I know it's early in league play, but these teams do not fold when they get down offensively.
So we'll step aside. Pitching change here for the Golden Flashes. Eric Chalice's day is over. Stay with us on Ohio Bobcat TV. The Golden Flashes go to the bullpen for the first time today. Joe Maselli makes his way in, the graduate student. Sam, what do we have on Joe?
Yeah, what a journey it's been, first of all, for Joe Maselli. Started at Bergen Community College, then played a season at Virginia in the ACC, and then last year he was at Gardner-Webb in the Big South Conference. As A.J. Roush stands into the righty batter's box and fouls the first pitch off. Looking at some of the numbers for Maselli this season, very solid, small sample size, only 2 appearances, 6 innings, 7 strikeouts, 3 walks, 1.50 ERA, though, in 6 innings.
Very solid, trustworthy guy out of the bullpen for Mike Birkbeck and Jeff Duncan. A.J. Roush at the plate so far this afternoon. A double and a bunt single. He also stole a base. Or, I'm sorry, not a bunt single, but he pops this one up on the infield, ranging over, battling the sun. Connor Ashby brings it down. And there's one away. So Eric Chalice, unofficial line score, 4 innings pitched. He gave up 10 hits, struck out 4 batters, walked 2. He gave up 6 runs, and he's on the hook for 7, though, with Cole Williams standing over at first base. That is Chalice's responsibility. Well, Maselli trying to work around Williams down there and keep the score tied right where it's at. Bryce Smith at the plate last time around, an RBI single. It was his 4th RBI on the series. Spinning a throw over. Back in safely is Williams. This inning started with a Trey Cassidy opposite field home run. Just barely cleared the wall. It was his second base hit on the ball game. He had a single back in the 3rd. His first career blast here in the 5th. Followed up by a Cole Williams single. There's an infield single to shortstop. This one lifted in the air. Is it going to get out of play? It, I guess, technically does. It grazed the net on the way down. Kyle Jackson, I don't think would have had a chance to make that play anyway. Way too far out of his range, and it looked like the catcher, Ripken Reese, maybe not seeing it off the bat. He didn't even move from his catcher spot down there behind the plate. Williams off the bag at first. Bryce Smith at the plate. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. A strike 3. Bryce Smith retired for the 2nd time today on strikes. That'll bring up Nick Dolan.
Bryce Smith a little late on that fastball there, but now, again, turning our attention to Nick Dolan, who's had a couple of swings and misses on off-speed pitches today. We'll see what happens in this AB.
Yeah, Nick Dolan hit by a pitch back in the 2nd, came around to score there, popped out to second base his last time around. Another spin and a throw over. That's back-to-back now from Maselli on the mound. Trying to work out of this 5th inning in a tie ball game. 6-6. That one just off the inside corner. 2 balls, no strikes. I'm sorry, 1 ball, no strike. That'll even the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nice off speed right there from Maselli.
Yeah, he's coming, mixing his pitches nicely. Again, a 1.50 ERA across 6 innings coming into this appearance.
This one popped out of play, foul. Maselli ahead in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 away. Here in the bottom half of inning number 5. Dolan trying to flip the batting lineup around for the top of the order. If nothing else, it'll be 1, 2, 3 for the Bobcats to start the 6th. That pitch in the dirt started for second. Did Cole Williams over at first base, but he thinks better of it. A good block right there from Ripken Reese to keep that in front of him.
I think if Cole Williams got a great secondary lead, go on first movement there, you're good. But he was indecisive and made the right decision.
Dolan swings and misses at a pitch in the dirt. The tag applied, and that will end the inning. But Trey Cassidy blasts his first career home run over the left center field wall and knots us up at 6. We'll head to the 6th here on Ohio Bobcat TV. Back live from Bob Wren's Stadium, top of inning number 6. And we are all tied up at 6 thanks to Trey Cassidy's first career home run. That had to feel good for Mr. Cassidy, the freshman, getting his first taste of rounding the bases at the college level. Connor Ashby will step in. 7-8-9 due up for Kent State here in this top half of inning number 6. We got a stoppage here. Home plate umpire motioning towards something, looks like the donut, the weight that the Bobcats put on their bats in the on-deck circle. But here we go. First pitch popped up, ranging back for it, the catcher Cassidy, and he makes the grab. Trey Cassidy, a nice play. First out here in the top of the 6th.
Really nice job discarding the mask. And sometimes catchers will take the mask off, hold the mask while running to try and catch the ball. Others will just discard the mask immediately. It's a preference thing. And Cassidy stayed focused. Nice job.
It was a great play. I thought that one was going to get out of play right off the bat. The wind blowing out towards left field kept it in. In the field of play, that is. And now Ripken Reese at the plate. 0 for 2 so far today. A strikeout and a flyout. Looks at that pitch right down Broadway. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hudson Bockel looking for a quick inning. And he gets him to swing and miss. Off-speed pitch, had him out in front. And he sits Ripken Reese down for the 2nd time today on strikes.
Really nice job by Hudson Bockel. He is clearly starting the inning clean sheet with no runners on base, dialed in, and his pitch speed, his speed in between pitches, I should say, is pretty darn quick.
Yeah, a lot like Masters yesterday. Bo Schinkel at the plate, singled his last time around, came around to score as well. That was the one that hit off the arm of Tim Knapschafer. Ultimately was chased from the ball game after he walked to the man on deck, Kyle Jackson. That pitch in there for a strike. Ahead in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bockel with 3 strikeouts since coming on, looking for his 4th. And he gets it! Frozen at the plate, Bo Schinkel goes down looking. 1, 2, 3 for Hudson Bockel, and the Bobcats will come back up to the plate with a chance to take the lead. They'll have 1, 2, 3 due up when we return. Top of the batting order for the Bobcats, Paulie Mancino, J.R. Nelson, and Gideon Ansel. due up to start the 6th in a tie ball game. Joe Maselli back out on the mound. He came in to relieve Eric Chalice in the last inning. Did so efficiently. Retired all 3 batters he faced. A couple of strikeouts in there as well. So Eric Chalice, his official line score today, 4 innings, 10 hits, 6 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, and a couple of walks as well. Not the best of appearances for him. The Bobcats, that one hits him. Pauly Mancino gonna reach base on a hit by pitch. I believe he was hit yesterday as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he was. He was actually hit twice.
Hit twice yesterday, hit again here today. He's reached on a couple of free passes, and that'll bring up J.R. Nelson looking for a 4-hit day.
Yeah, J.R. Nelson has not gotten a 4-hit experience yet in his young Ohio career. In fact, the only other Bobcat with 4 hits in a game this season, Gideon Antle, who's on deck. Gideon Antle also has a 5-hit game this season. But, yeah, J.R. Nelson, man, I tell you what, we can't overstate what he has done in his young career. Just his first season, absolutely impressive, both offensively and defensively. Has been just terrific.
Well, Maselli had him flailing out at that one. Gets him to swing and miss on the first pitch there. No balls and 1 strike. And that one just off the outside corner. Sam, you also talked about during the break, Gideon Ansel, the only Bobcat to not reach base so far today.
Yeah, pretty surprising. And that just goes to show you that this lineup is
deep.
Not just Gideon.
Runner goes, fouled off back towards the screen. So Pauly Mancino will retreat back to first base. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, it's such a big thing to highlight, obviously, that Gideon Antle doesn't have a hit. Pretty surprising. Only Bobcat to not reach base, but Ohio still, it's 6-6, and so much production from different players here this weekend.
The 1-2, and that one swung on and missed. A good block in the dirt right there from Ripken Reese. And J.R. Nelson got no part of that ball. He'll head back to the dugout. And now Gideon Ansel steps up to the plate.
That is a rare strikeout for J.R. Nelson. Only his 5th strikeout in 58 at-bats.
It's a pretty good percentage. No math wizard. Runner goes. Pauly Mancino, the throw down. No good. It kicks off the shortstop. But Kyle Jackson over there. Pauly's going to take third. I thought Kyle Jackson was over there to clean up the ball that had kicked off the shortstop, McNamara. But Jackson, realizing nobody was there to cover third, had to retreat back and hope that one of his middle infielders got there quick enough. They didn't, and heads up base running from Pauly Mancino, able to swipe 2 bags right there.
I think that's a stolen base, and then Pauly's not going to get another stolen base. Is going to be an error
on the throw.
And every time I've seen Ripken Reese, he's got great transfer, glove to hand, good pop time down to second, but he's skipping the ball.
On the ground towards third, through the hole. Gideon Ansel's first hit of the ball game is an RBI single that gives the Bobcats the lead once again, 7-6. The 20th RBI on the season for Gideon. That leads the team. And Alex Finney will step to the plate now. Pauly Mancino's aggressive base running awarded with a run. Bobcats with the lead. First pitch to Finney. Stays inside.
And now Gideon Antle has extended his hitting streak to 15 straight games. He's played in all of those 15 contests, 15 of the 16 games Ohio's played in.
That one bounces in between the legs of Reese, but he keeps it close. Gideon skipping around over there at first base, started towards second. I think he thought that Reese didn't know where the ball was, but then realized that he found it, thought better of trying to take second, retreats back.
So the error, Paulie Mancino, his ability to reach third base, that was an E2, error on the catcher.
Official ruling. Gideon takes off late. The throw down. They're going to get him. Ansel, seeing that ball skip in the dirt, I think he may have thought that the ball was going to kick away from Reese. Tried to get a quick jump. But he's thrown out, so nobody on base now for the Bobcats. 2 away. Here's the pitch. Way upstairs. That one. Ball 4. Oh,
so Gideon didn't need to be aggressive there because he's down to second base, but
well, that's the nature of the beast right there. If you're going to be aggressive, you got to stay aggressive. You can't look back and say, "Oh, I should have stayed at first. I'd be at second now." Well, that completely takes away from the aggressive nature that the Bobcats have established so far this weekend. So, yes, he's probably frustrated, but you don't hate the aggressiveness.
No, you don't. And Gideon's that type of guy. He's got that type of motor. That, by the way, that was the best throw from the catcher spot from Ripken Reese.
By far.
Now, he threw that from his feet. A lot of his attempts to gun down runners at second base have been from his knees, and I mentioned he's been one-hopping those, which isn't a bad thing.
Cassidy fouls it back to the screen.
However, it's every time that ball is skipping, then it allows the runner to have a little bit more time to get down there and be safe.
A lot of times coaches will encourage their catchers to try to one-hop it to second base so they don't sail the ball on the throw.
Yeah, we haven't seen any of that.
We haven't seen any of that, but Reese's throws have been bouncing just in front of the gloves of McNamara and Ashby over at second base. Makes for a tough pick. Cassidy at the plate, works a good at-bat and a walk. Back-to-back free passes. Alex Finney up to second, Cassidy down to first. And with 2 away, Cole Williams going to step up to the plate. He singled his last time around. Was stranded there after the pitching change, and looks like we're just going to get a mound visit here. I was going to say looks like we might be getting another change, but Mike Birkbeck out to the mound to try and talk with Maselli. 3 free passes in this inning. A hit by pitch to Paulie Mancino, who came around to score on the RBI single from Gideon Ansel. Gideon thrown out trying to swipe second base. And following that, Alex Finney and Trey Cassidy both working a walk. Cole Williams looking to do some 2-out damage.
Yeah, a little bit of a sloppy situation at times from Kent State pitching this week, and I think this goes to show you, though, how dynamic Ohio's offense is. Central Michigan last week, definitely a respectable team, but Ohio is really dynamic 1 through 9.
Absolutely, a very potent lineup that the Bobcats have. A spin and a look back to second base. I was just going to make note. Nobody holding. Well, the first baseman, Tim Orr, not holding on Cassidy over there at first, as is customary. You don't see a lot of first basemen holding runners on when there's a guy on second base, but the shortstop, McNamara, keeping Finney close out there. Little quick visit from Ripken Reese to Maselli. Try to get on the same page. The first pitch to Williams is on the ground towards second, fielded cleanly by Ashby, over to first in time. So Maselli strands 2, but not before Paulie Mancino comes around to score the go-ahead run for the Bobcats. We'll head to the later third of this one. Bobcats lead it 7-6.
All right, we are back here at Bob Wren Stadium alongside Daniel Barnard. I'm Sam Hyman. Top of the 7th inning, Ohio clinging to a 7-6 lead. Kyle Jackson takes outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Hudson Bonkel has settled in. 3 up, 3 down in the 6th out of the bullpen. Check swing foul. And the count is 1-1. Hudson Bonkel came into the game, tough spot, 5th inning, 2 runners on, and gave up a bunt single, a walk, and was able to limit the damage. Only 2 runs scored in that 5th inning, and both charged to Tim Knapshafer. So Hudson quickly, now it's 2-2. And we've seen a lot of breaking ball, fastball, mixture of pitches. Bonkel not afraid to throw a first pitch breaking ball. Full count to Kyle Jackson. 1 for 2 today with a solo homer. He's homered twice in this series. Flicks that one back. Jackson spent the 2023 summer with the St. Cloud Rocks of the Northwoods League, Summer Collegiate Baseball League, and 3-2. Foul tipped into Cassidy's mitt. Strike 3. 5 strikeouts for Hudson Bonkel.
It's the 11th strikeout on the day for Kent State hitters. Their season high, 18. That was back a couple of weeks ago. Up over 10 here today.
Next batter, Josh Johnson. Check swing, and Michael Ingram said Josh Johnson went around, so strike 1. Johnson is 1 for 3 today, 2 strikeouts and a bunt single. That buzzes up and in for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bonkel, the 6'3" junior from Corona, California, out of Centennial High School. 2 balls and 1 strike to Johnson. And this is one of his best early outings of the season. 5 strikeouts, a season high. 2-1 is lifted into shallow right field. A little bit deeper than we originally anticipated. Paulie Mancino is there to make the catch for out number 2. Hudson Bonkel finished the year last year strong against Akron, May 20th. 4 innings and struck out 7 batters. Didn't allow a hit or a run in that appearance. He had an up and down season, though, in 2023. 6.12 ERA across 32 2/3 innings, and only started 2 out of 14 games. So a primary bullpen arm. This one down the left field line, drifting foul from the senior first baseman, Tim Orr. Bonkel started his Ohio career as a starter, 9 starts in 2022, and then he's become a primary bullpen guy. Bounce slowly foul, and the count's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hudson Bonkel in position to retire the side in order for the 2nd consecutive inning. He's retired 6 in a row. The 1-2, punched on the ground towards third, backhand. Nick Dolan across the diamond, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Hudson Bonkel. He's retired 7 straight. Ohio leads 7-6 heading to the bottom of the 7th in Game 2 of our 3-game set from Bob Wren Stadium. We'll be back. Yeah, big time.
Stretch.
A.J. Roush leads off the bottom of the 7th inning. 7-8-9 due up for Ohio. Back with Daniel Barnard. I'm Sam Hyman. Thanks for being with us here from Bob Wren Stadium. Ohio clinging to a 7-6 lead, trying to take this series. Ohio won yesterday 9-4 and produced 12 hits in the process. Second straight game, actually third straight game, Ohio has had 10 or more hits. So the offense has been humming.
Yeah, humming to say the least. They have been getting the job done. A couple more innings to go here in this one. They might be able to take a series against the preseason favorites.
Yeah, Kent State, 40-plus win team last year. Historically, they've been unbelievable. Dating back to 2012 College World Series appearance under head coach Scott Strickland at the time. A.J. Roush waves and misses. Strike 3. Joe Maselli records the strikeout. That is his 4th punch out of the game, and it'll bring up Bryce Smith. Jeff Duncan is now the head coach in his 10th season with Kent State, 3-time MAC Coach of the Year. Prior to Kent State, held roles as an assistant coach and associate head coach at Purdue for 4 seasons. So he does have a ton of experience. Spent 1 season at Auburn, played professionally for 9 seasons, and 2 years at times in the big leagues with the Mets in 03 and 04. Got a decorated resume and has done a great job with this Kent State program. So, and just outlining, you know, MAC preseason favorites, a 40-plus win team last year, a team that is expected to compete again for a MAC championship after falling short to Ball State in the championship game yesterday. This is a huge weekend for Ohio to make a statement, prove that they belong towards the top of the league, picked 5th in the MAC preseason poll. 0-2 the count to Bryce Smith. 1 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and an RBI single. Maselli from the stretch delivers. 0-2 is shaved back. Last year for Ohio, 19-30 overall. Definitely a difficult result to end 2023. Didn't make the MAC tournament. Nobody landed on an all-conference team. Some disappointment for sure. 0-2 is downstairs, but I think now that that is in the past, there's a lot of motivation for this Ohio team in 2024. Plenty of new faces and some key returners. 1-2 foul back. Bryce Smith is one of those newcomers, a 5th-year graduate student, transfer from Marymount University in Arlington, Virginia.
Well, everybody's going to have down years. That one bounces. You just got to take that. You got to take that taste that it left in your mouth, learn from it, bring it in to this year's motivation. Bobcats starting 2-2 in conference play, looking to get up over 500 here today.
2-2, check swing. Smith did go around, strike 3.
Wow.
Yeah, that is the 5th strikeout for Joe Maselli.
Hat trick for Bryce Smith. It's his 3rd on the day. 3rd strikeout for Bryce.
Bottom of the order still has done their job at times today.
They have.
7, 8, 9 hitters. A.J. Roush has 2 hits, 1 RBI. Bryce Smith has a 2-out RBI single. Nick Dolan was hit by a pitch and scored in the 2nd.
Early on in the game, those first 3 frames for the bottom half, I guess I should say innings 2 and 3, they really had it going.
Indeed.
Last 2 times around, they're combined 0 for 5, Nick Dolan being the 6th hitter.
Yeah, in fact, all those times that you're referencing from the bottom of the 5th and now here in the bottom of the 7th, new pitcher, Joe Maselli, has been in charge. That 1.50 ERA across 6 innings coming into today.
Handled him well.
2-1 outside. 3 balls and 1 strike to Nick Dolan. redshirt junior, third baseman. And that misses way outside. Dolan reaches on a walk with 2 outs. And that turns the lineup over to Paulie Mancino. Leadoff man, a walk, a hit by pitch, a strikeout, and a pop out.
Well, Sam, it didn't lead to anything, but one thing that's not going to go down in the scorebooks is Nick Dolan's hustle to first base right there. The ball went to the backstop, and it's a big backstop here at Bob Wren. Getting down to first base quickly, maybe catch Ripken Reese slacking a little bit back towards the backstop to retrieve that one, maybe try to swipe second. Obviously didn't happen there, but the hustle, a big factor in this Bobcat team, and it's showing this weekend, that one just being one of the examples.
2 down, bottom of the 7th inning. Ohio leads 7-6. 0-1 the count to Paulie Mancino. And a check on first that hit Nick Dolan's cleat as he was touching the first base bag. So he advances to second base. Very funky situation. Bobcats have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs.
Top
on
of
that
the order.
Yeah, on that error from Maselli. And yes, you're right. This is the top of the order, the dangerous part of Ohio's lineup. Mancino, the freshman out of St. Ignatius High School. And he fouls that one back. Coach,
I apologize. Still looking for his first hit in this one, too. He's reached a couple of times, scored a couple of times, a walk and a hit by pitch, but he's still looking to get in the hit column.
Had a triple and a home run yesterday. 0-2, and Paulie drives it up the middle. It squeaks through. Base hit. Nick Dolan scores. Paulie on his horse tries second, and he's out. Run scores, though, before the out. So Ohio grabs an insurance run, 8-6 after 7 innings. A huge run. Mancino, though, out to end the inning. We go to the 8th. Right after this, Ohio leads 8-6 in Game 2 of a 3-game series against the Kent State Golden Flashes. Bobcats on the verge of taking this series, but still 6 outs to grab as we start the top of the 8th inning. Alongside Daniel Barnard, I'm Sam Hyman. A terrific day for baseball here in Athens, Ohio. 8-6 lead for the Bobcats. Hudson Bonkel back on the mound. He has been fantastic and fires a first pitch that is absolutely demolished, foul. I mean, I'm trying to think of words to describe where that ball just went. It headed towards past the track and field facility.
If you are in a more stadium-type baseball complex, that ball's in the upper deck right now in foul territory, to put it that way. He got all of that one, just a little too far out in front. If he's able to straighten that one out, Or watch the cars in the parking lot. Might have a broken windshield.
Hudson Bonkel, only 26 pitches so far. He's been terrific. He's retired the last 7 batters he's faced, and he's struck out 5.
An unexpected basketball family. We got some high school playoff basketball just across the street.
That plops in down the left field line. Fair ball. Michael McNamara jogs into second base with a leadoff double. So a home run earlier for Michael McNamara, and now a double. That is the first hit. That is the first extra base hit and the second hit that Hudson Bonkel has allowed out of the bullpen.
Well, that's the third time that McNamara has let off an inning in this game today, and he's reached base in all 3 of those plate appearances. A home run, a walk, and a double. His previous 2 that he reached on, the home run and the walk, he came around to score on both of those. Kent State would surely love a run to cut into the deficit right here. Nobody down there in a prime spot to do just that. Dom Kibler has reached base a couple of times. His last time around, a sac fly RBI.
That paints the outer corner for a strike, 1-2. Ohio took game 1 yesterday, 9-4. Ohio was swept last year against Kent State. Much different scenario right now. That is barely outside. A lot of oohs and ahs from the Ohio crowd.
And the dugout. Dugout was one in that call right there.
2-2 is a curveball that's rolled over towards first. Bryce Smith flips it to Bonkel covering the bag for the first out. Good productive out, though. Michael McNamara moves up to third base on the 3-1 putout. And here comes Jake Casey.
Yes, absolutely. He may have rolled over on that one. Maybe didn't get a hold of that pitch like he wanted to, but at the end of the day, it's the same thing as if it was a sac bunt. It's the same thing as if it was a deep fly out to right. He gets the runner up and over to third base for Jake Casey. Now all he's got to do is put a ball in play, get that run in from third. Shave this game down to a 1-run ball game in the late stages.
That's buried and kicks away, but not far enough. Cassidy retrieves it. Jake Casey, the junior right fielder, homered back in the second inning. He has 2 home runs in this series. Pittsburgh, PA native. And he pulls this one off Bryce Smith's glove. It springs up in the air. Finney grabs it, and McNamara scores. So it's a 1-run game, 8-7. Both of these offenses, neither team is out of any game with these offenses.
No, sir. You got the bottom of the order coming up here for the Golden Flashes, and I bring that up, obviously, because it's happening in the game. It's the bottom of the order, but when we get to the 9th inning, eventually, if nothing else in this inning, the top of the order is going to come up again for Kent State. So their power hitters, their table setters are going to come back up to the plate, at least Kyle Jackson, unless, of course, there's a double play right here. Then you could go 1, 2, 3. Or I'm sorry, you would still have to face Kyle Jackson, 7-hole hitter Connor Ashby at the plate right now. But the top of Kent State's order is going to get another crack at this. Interested to see if that previous play scored a hit or an error. It was a very sharp hit.
I think it's a hit. First
go
glance.
Go down as a hit.
Yes.
Yep.
That was a hit. That ball was hit really hard. And
right on the screws.
Yeah, tough play for Bryce Smith.
That's Casey's second hit of the ball game then. Couple of RBIs for him as well.
Connor Ashby is hitless today. And he takes outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Ohio leads 8-7 here in the top of the 8th inning.
Well, after coming across the plate right there, McNamara, 3 runs in the ball game. All 3 of them after leading off an inning in the 4-hole.
Senior shortstop has played in a lot of games. Started 57 games last year. And he's been a steady shortstop this season for Jeff Duncan. Bonkel throws over to first.
These are really close over at first base, Sam. It looks all natural and flowing like normal. You catch a guy leaning down there, Casey over at first base, you catch him leaning. Might have a shot to get him. Picked off Dom Kibler earlier in the ball game, Tim Knapschafer did.
Yeah, Ohio's done a great job of keeping Kent State away from its aggressive play on the base paths. No stolen bases in this game for the Golden Flashes. Ohio has 3 stolen bases.
Yeah, they've kept them quiet today and yesterday, too. Doing a good job with runners on base. Aspects in every single part of the game. A lot that go unnoticed, some that do get noticed.
Yeah, I think going back to the 4th inning, to your point, J.R. Nelson made a terrific play at shortstop. Ground ball, simple ground ball with runners at 2nd and 3rd. And Nelson fielded it cleanly and threw the runner out in between 2nd and 3rd base as Connor Ashby singles through the left side. And now Kent State has runners at 1st and 2nd with 1 out. Ripken Reese steps to the plate. So the bottom of the order in charge for the Golden Flashes. Time is called. Tim Brown, the pitching coach, year 3, makes his way to the mound. Tim Brown has been around the block and then some. He's coached at multiple places. George Washington, Eastern Illinois, USC Upstate, Lincoln Memorial, Coppin State, Siena College. Well-traveled, and speaking with Hudson Bonkel, who's had a terrific outing. I mean, if you're an Ohio fan, you'd hate to see it disappear.
Well, this is back-to-back days, Sam, with great bullpen outings for the Bobcats. Yesterday, Zach Weber coming in, slamming the door. I think he went 2 1/3, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
2 2/3.
2 1/3 innings and didn't allow an earned run.
And he was on his game yesterday. And so far today, Bonkel on his game. One of my keys to the game will go back early on. The bottom of this order for Kent State. Doing some damage here this afternoon. It's kept them in the ball game.
Ripken Reese skies it foul to the left side. 0-1. 1 out. Ripken Reese at the plate. He's 0 for 3. And coming into this game, hitting just .220 in 10 starts. That just misses 1 ball and 1 strike to Ripken Reese. Coach Duncan said that Ripken has tons of potential. He can play multiple positions too, 2nd, 3rd, catcher. He's catching today. 1-2. And he did not play at all last season due to a knee injury. Coach Duncan told us it happened the first week of practice last season. And just hate the timing with that.
Those are always brutal, especially the practice injuries. Miss out on a whole season that you look forward to so much, you work so hard for in the off season, and it's snatched from you right off the bat.
Got a chance to play a little bit during the summer in the Northwoods League. 1-2 outside, 2-2.
Then you can also look at it on the positive side and say, look, it happened early, so I'm going to be able to recover with enough time, get back and and play like he did during the summer in the Northwoods League and this year.
2-2 is split through into right field. Base hit. 1 run scores. And Ripken Reese has his first hit of the game. And we are tied at 8 apiece. Back and forth we go. Jake Casey scores. Connor Ashby up to third. And 3 straight hits for the Golden Flashes.
Well, Sam, if I counted it right, that's now 5 for 17 in hitters 5 through 9 of this order today. 1 for 16 yesterday, 4 more hits today. They're getting the job done. And as it stands right now, a big reason why this ball game's tied. Infield playing in.
Tie game, no surprise. 0-1 the count to Bo Schinkel. Ripken Reese with his 4th double of the season. Great aggressiveness. This is a lazy fly, shallow left field. Going to be interesting. Catch made. A.J. Roush, play at the plate. Oh, it bounces over Cassidy's mitt, and a run scores. Wow, Ashby looked like he was going to be out at home plate, took a funky hop, and Kent State leads 9-8.
Home plate umpire in Kent State's dugout jawing back and forth with each other. Not sure what that's about. I think nothing happened to impact the play, I don't believe. But I think that he may have been talking to Kyle Jackson, who's now going to be intentionally walked. May have gotten a little too close on the throw home. Again, I'm not sure. We're sitting up here. We have no source from the field telling us what's exactly going on, but it's just something I quickly noticed after a heated exchange between Kent State's dugout. I'm sure it was Jeff Duncan. I couldn't tell exactly, and the home plate umpire. It's worth keeping an eye on.
Breaking ball is pulled on the ground. Yeah, good job. Nick Dolan steps on third base, and that will retire the side. But, wow, the ball bounces just a little bit high at Trey Cassidy, or else I'm certain that there would have been a play at the plate there, and we could have seen A.J. Roush with a nice put out from the outfield. But 9-8, Kent State, 3 runs in the 8th. Ohio looking to respond in the bottom of the 8th inning right after this. Back here at Bob Wren Stadium alongside Daniel Barnard, I'm Sam Hyman. Thanks for being with us for what has been an intense game. Back and forth we've gone throughout the course of the day. Ohio trailed 2-0 after an inning and a half, then scored 3 in the bottom of the second to take a 3-2 advantage. And back and forth we've gone. Ohio led 8-6. Now it's 9-8. Kent State. J.R. Nelson leads off. The bottom of the 8th inning, 2-3-4 hitters due up against Joe Maselli. And Nelson cracks it on the ground. backhand, Michael McNamara, tough play, and he made it. Deep in the hole, short, and that is out number one. But if you're just joining us, A.J. Roush, the left fielder, caught a shallow fly ball in the left field, play at the plate, and Connor Ashby slid in safely. The throw would have been in time, but the ball bounced a bit too high, and Cassidy was bent down a little bit too much, and the ball bounced over Cassidy's mitt. And that sac fly RBI is the difference right now. 9-8 lead for Kent State, trying to even this series up at 1 game apiece. Gideon Antle is 1 for 4 today with an RBI single his last time up.
Well, wouldn't this be a good time for Gideon Blast?
He leads the team in homers, and he scorches it straight up in the air, right center field. Jake Casey gives way to Josh Johnson, who makes the catch. 2 quick outs. And here comes Alex Finney.
Yeah, we were talking about it during the break, Sam, about that throw to the plate from Roush, and it was just one of those cases where Trey Cassidy doing exactly, I'm sure, what he's taught. As a fielder, you're taught to stay on the same level as the baseball in terms of how low you're squatting or how high you're standing. You're taught to stay on the same level of the baseball when fielding a ball that's going to hop at you. And Trey was very low to the ground. He had the runner coming in, trying to get that quick catch and slap down.
Popped up, foul ground, and a 1-2-3 inning for Joe Maselli. He has locked in pretty nicely out of the bullpen for Kent State with 4 innings of relief and only two earned runs allowed. We go to the top of the 9th inning right after this 1-run game. 9-8 is our score here from Bob Wren Stadium. In our ear. All right, we are back here at Bob Wren Stadium. 5 lead changes in this game. The middle contest, game 2 of a 3-game set. Ohio took game 1 9-4. This is a 9-8 ball game. New pitcher on the mound for Ohio, the junior from Oak Creek, Wisconsin, out of Oak Creek High School, Tyler Peck. Throws a first pitch slider right down the middle for a called strike. Tim Orr, senior first baseman at the plate. He's 0 for 3 with a walk.
Hudson Bonkel, 4 innings of work in this one. In the official scoring column, he gave up 4 earned runs on 4 hits.
Yeah, it was really that 8th inning that was difficult to swallow. Alex Finney makes the play at second, 1 up, 1 down. Hudson Bonkel was cruising after 3 innings. He allowed only, he worked. At one point, he retired 7 straight from the 5th to the 7th inning. Yeah, right now, officially, we saw a switch up in number of earned runs for Tim Knapschafer and Hudson Bonkel. Right now, 5 earned runs. It was originally 6 earned runs for Tim Knapschafer.
Which I believe was correct.
Which I think that is correct. So I'm not sure why that changed. We may have to get an explanation on that. Because
when Knapschafer left, he had surrendered the single and the walk to Kyle Jackson, who came around to score. No errors for the Bobcats, so everything should be earned.
Yeah, that's foul tipped. And strike 3, so good start here for Tyler Peck, who has got a 7.84 ERA, but he's coming off one of his best outings of the season 2 outings ago against NIU. 4 innings, only 1 earned run allowed. This ball is crushed but foul down the right field line. Dom Kibler. Ohio will send Trey Cassidy scheduled. Trey Cassidy, Cole Williams, A.J. Roush. 5, 6, 7 hitters in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Combined, those 3 hitters have scored 3 times today.
Bounce towards first. Bryce Smith makes the play, and that retires the side. So 3 up, 3 down. Tyler Peck didn't waste any time. He threw only 6 pitches. 9-8 is our score. Ohio has 3 outs to work with to try and turn this around. Kent State 3 outs away from taking game 2 of this 3-game set. We'll be back. We are live for the bottom of the 9th inning as we welcome you back to Bob Wren Stadium alongside Daniel Barnard. I'm Sam Hyman. Trey Cassidy is at the plate, homered in this game. Solo shot his first as a Bobcat, as the Ohio fans on the edge of their seat. Kent State as well trying to slam the door. It's Joe Maselli on the mound, the graduate student, his first year at Kent State. Kent State had an all-world closer last year in Mitchell Scott, who departed the program. And we spoke to Jeff Duncan about the bullpen this season. He said Gavin Jones, Jordan Kalenda, 2 options late. Those 2 guys pitched yesterday. So Joe Maselli with an opportunity to slam the door. As that misses high, 3-0 on Trey Cassidy. Ohio's dugout is live right now. That is strike 1.
Still in a really good hitter's count right here. If you're Trey Cassidy, you can still be selective. He's reached base 3 out of 4 times today, one of them being a walk. This has to be perfect.
And a big rip and a miss from Cassidy. A fastball right past Trey. Strike 2, full count.
That was pretty close to perfect for Trey right there. Doesn't get much better than that. A dead even fastball.
Payoff up and in, ball 4. So Cassidy, the freshman catcher, has certainly put his fingerprints over this game. 2 walks, 1 base hit, and 1 home run. And now here comes Cole Williams to the plate.
That's such an impressive at bat right there from Cassidy, the freshman, not having many at-bats and opportunities yet this season. A home run in this one, and now a clutch walk. And we're going to get a pinch runner. Looks like Taylor Gill coming in to run for him. That'll end the day for Cassidy, but a great outing for him, a great at-bat here to start the ninth. Tying run stands on first, winning run stands at the plate.
Cole Williams drives it right back to the nylon. 0-1.
Kyle Jackson in on the grass at third base, anticipating a sacrifice bunt. Williams swinging away right there on the first pitch.
0-1 the count. Strike two. That's a good call. We'll see if Cole Williams drops down a bunt. He does have some sneaky power. Infield single today.
I don't think that we'll see the bunt now with 2 strikes, but
yeah, no.
It was a good idea, and it was smart by Jackson to play in because the Bobcats have shown that they want to play small ball a lot this weekend, maybe just not wanting to sacrifice an out yet here in the ninth. If Williams reaches, I wouldn't be surprised to see it.
Called strike 3, right on the bottom of the zone. And Joe Maselli retires Cole Williams.
Yeah.
1 down, and here's Trey Cassidy. A.J. Roush comes to the plate. Again, this is where Kent State was so dominant last year. Mitchell Scott, 15 saves, a 1.94 ERA. Kent State looking for someone to grab that baton. Roush bounces it to short. McNamara backhands, throws across the diamond, and it's late and away from first base. Roush is safe, first and second with just 1 out. He put that in a spot where the double play possibility was difficult.
That was some kind of play, though, from McNamara to get over to that one. I was surprised that he didn't try to go to second with it. I thought that he might have had a play there, but he elects to throw it across the diamond, and it pulls Tim Orr off the bag. Now the winning run stands at first base.
Bryce Smith blasts it on a line, center field, diving effort, no. Josh Johnson, he can't make the play. 1 run scores. We are tied at 9. Bottom of the 9th inning magic. Bryce Smith, turn up. Wow.
Chaos at the Ren. Bryce Smith. Oh, I thought that ball was going to hang up. I got a little nervous right there. Josh Johnson coming on. He had it, and it just right in and out of his glove. He had the glove basically on the ground. I think if he goes to the ground with the ball, he might come up with that. But he was trying to stay upright, and it cost him. Lucky that it didn't get under his glove and keep rolling, or else we'd be going home right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, if he had an all-out dive, that ball was smoked.
Yeah.
If he didn't touch it at all with his glove,
this game's over.
Yeah, this game is over. So here we go.
Intentional walk, by the way.
Yeah, good call.
Force at all bases.
Paulie Mancino is at the plate.
Which is even more interesting. You intentionally walk a guy to bring the top of the order to the plate, which I understand you want to force at every base.
Exactly, but it's definitely a tough situation.
Absolutely.
Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Paulie Mancino, the freshman, and he takes low as the count is 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 out. All tied at 9 in the bottom of the 9th inning. Joe Maselli is in danger of letting things slip away. The 1-1 upstairs, 2 balls and 1 strike. Ohio has 14 hits in this game, 26 in this series.
Paulie wants this one bad. You can see it after every single pitch, his reaction.
The 2-1, and it's low. 3-1, and there's only 1 out. So Mancino can
a walk ends this game, Sam.
Yeah, can really buckle up here.
Fastball coming for sure.
The pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 2. What a gutsy pitch from Maselli. Full count with 1 down here in the bottom of the 9th inning. all tied at 9. A.J. Roush is the winning run at third base.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Here's the pitch. Pulled on the ground, third base side. Bobble, Jackson, that's it. Game's over. Ohio wins. A.J. Roush scores. Paulie Mancino, the hero for the Bobcats. 10-9 your final score. In walk-off fashion, 10-9. Ohio takes 2 games out of 2 in this 3-game set.
Well, it's only fitting that the Bobcats win the series on a walk-off on Saturday. They get the chance to sweep tomorrow. Oh, that's going to be must-see baseball, folks. Right back here on YouTube tomorrow. That's going to be a good one. What a ball game. We've been treated to 2 outstanding ball games yesterday and today. Kyle Jackson came up with that one. He bobbled it on the transfer. I think he got into his head a little bit right there because he thought about stepping on third for the force out, but then he might have thought, oh, I should go home instead, because then it turns into a tag out. If you step on third and then go home,
right.
Or if he steps on third then goes to first, that's a force over there, but that's a really tough play.
Yeah, it's a tough decision to make in the moment.
Quick split decision. Super tough.
Yeah, definitely hesitated for a second, and that is it. So it will go down as an error. A.J. Roush scores on an error by the third baseman, Kyle Jackson.
So no RBI, too.
But a single for Paulie Mancino. And a funky way to end this one, but Ohio wins in walk-off fashion. Kent State, who came in this series with the highest fielding percentage in the league, commits 3 errors, and Ohio plays really clean baseball to take the first 2 games of this series. 10-9 your final score. Both of these games have been very, very exciting, Daniel.
Yeah, it was that was some awesome stuff right there, Sam. We'll just run through some final line scores for you here. Tim Knapshafer, the starter for Ohio, went 4 innings, 5 hits, 6 runs, at least to our recollection. He gave up 6. The final line score says 5, but he had 6 strikeouts and 3 walks. Hudson Bonkel replacing him, 4 innings of work, 4 hits, 3 runs, 5 strikeouts, and a walk. And then Tyler Peck in the 9th, setting the door, or leaving the door open for the Bobcats. He got the hold. 1-2-3 inning. He had a strikeout in that one as well, and that set the table for the bottom half of the 9th inning. The Bobcats did all of that with just 1 out. A walk to Trey Cassidy, a single for Roush, a single for Smith, an intentional walk for Dolan, and that left the door open for Paulie. Paulie's playground. He gets it done again. What a game.
All right, that does it for us today. Your final, Ohio wins 10-9 over Kent State. As we say, so long, but we will talk to you tomorrow. The series finale between Ohio and Kent State. For Daniel Barnard, I'm Sam Hyman, our great crew. Have a great rest of your Saturday, and thanks for watching.